Ladies and gentlemen,
What's new, man?
Dude, stress, man. I'm
Oh,
fucking
man.
stressed out. Life
Bro,
is stressing me out.
tell me about it. Yo, you know what happens when I get stressed? I
But
start getting like ball spots, bro. It's weird. Like over here, I know, I know we all gear and shit, but like
yeah,
it's one thing to have receding hairline, but my hairline will be fine, and I'll just randomly get like a ball spot here. Like you see it
that's
coming now.
crazy.
And then
Yeah,
even on
that's
my
crazy.
beard, it's a little covered up, but like I get a big ball spot here and here. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? It's insane.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, no, it's just, dude, life, man. We're moving soon, so
Mhm.
trying to get all the, you know, shit situated and moving in like a couple of weeks. It's kind of like stressed, a little stressed.
Just don't move anything yourself though. Don't lift no furniture, kid.
Dude, I was
Don't.
thinking about that, man. I was thinking about that. I'm like, yo, I don't want to tear something if I have to move some like a fridge or some
Yeah.
shit, you know?
What's up, boys?
Going on? Hey,
Hey, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to moving, it's like okay.
Bro, it's happened
the,
like 5 fucking times.
the way I feel like is we're more than capable of lifting shit, but like it's a different angle, it's a different grip on the sofas and shit. So like people be like, oh, I got it, no problem. And then some shit, you hear some Velcro and that's it. It's over.
Dude,
So
it's scary, man. Isn't that how was it Antoine? Isn't Antoine
yeah.
tear his bicep like helping a friend move or something like that?
Yeah, the first one, I believe it was
Yeah,
at Pure Muscle when they were building the gym and
yeah,
something was in the way or something, and he went to move like one of piece of the equipment. And then
yeah,
the second one, I think it was a friend, right? I think it was a friend.
yeah.
I don't
It's
know, bro.
it's scary, man. So, dude, I'm trying to be as careful as possible, but dude, you know
Yeah,
how it is. You're the biggest guy, so it's like everyone expects you to
yeah,
do the most work.
exactly. Well, what I'm gonna do, I'm actually moving soon too. I'm gonna just hire the movers and pay them, a bunch of money that they always try to get as much money as possible, right?
Yeah,
Especially if you're moving far. But it's gonna be worth it, It's gonna be worth it
yeah,
just to not injure yourself.
true. Have you started
Yeah.
prep?
Me?
Yeah.
No, no. In another, I was 20 weeks out. I'm 20 weeks out now, so probably 18 weeks out. About
18
18
weeks.
weeks
Okay.
out. Yeah. Joe looked like he dropped some.
He's,
He
yeah,
looking
he
slender.
looks
Look
great,
at his
dude.
face. Look at
Every week
Arnold.
every week his face just gets sinking in and sinking in. It's like getting leaner and leaner.
Yeah, he
It's
got
funny.
lines in his face.
I got worked on, and the guy was like, because he worked on my girl too, and he said something along the lines of using my size. I was like, oh no, man, I'm useless. I can just pick heavy shit up. He's like, no, if you could do like you can move like a refrigerator, someone needs you. I'm like, no, can't do that either. Make it hurt.
No, fuck that. Fuck that.
So I'm
No,
hearing your conversation. I'm like, nah, I would never help anybody.
fuck that.
Like you're on your own, buddy.
Yeah,
That's a
man.
big change. Like he looks really different from last time I saw him.
His face especially too. His face is like
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
face
no,
looks like
I'm
6 weeks out.
I'm 274,
hmm
and I just put up a little posing video. That's what I look like as of yesterday.
hmm
But yeah, no, my body. Once I start, like I told you guys, once I start like taking out any extra fats and stuff, and throw on the cardio, like my body just becomes a machine and just like everything comes off.
Yeah.
How much cardio are you doing?
35 minutes.
Okay.
hmm
Because remember,
Is
like
that
I don't do cardio in the off season. So like when my body's introduced to it, it's something new. It's another tool in the box to use. And so from going to zero to some, it makes a big difference.
yeah, yeah.
So
I do cardio in the off season, but like let's say 3, 4 weeks out, I'll cut it out on purpose just to, you know what I'm saying? Just to get that effect, right? Get that
mhm.
effect when you add it back in, like pull back a little bit. You
Yeah, I
know,
think it's
but
beneficial. Like I keep it in as long as I can to a point. And then like no more than if I do keep it in, it's like 3 days a week, 20 minutes. I never do any more than that if I keep it, but it's rare if I keep it, like really rare.
shit, I do like 5 days a week, maybe like 30 minutes usually. That's usually the
Yeah,
sweet spot for me.
I'm doing 5 days a week, 40 right now. I will say this is the first time in off season that I've been like hitting it hard with the cardio in off season, and this is the first time that I actually don't have any lower back bumps at like upper
Mm,
250s.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it's really helped to keep me leaner. But on the caveat, my fucking right knee is killing me, man. Because I don't know, maybe because I'm too heavy now, going on those
Yeah.
stairs like
This
nonstop, day in,
prep,
day
Oh,
out.
bro, after I hit 250, so the last prep I paid for it for USA's,
Yeah.
I stopped doing stairs about 6 weeks out because I couldn't take it anymore. And I started off that prep at around 270. So like even that, like I just did too much in the beginning because you guys, I got to 100 minutes on stairs, and just over time, like so. This prep, I've only done incline treadmill. I haven't touched the stairs because the
yeah.
weight.
The weight, yeah, I noticed that because recently, like I thought it was just one knee, but it's like alternating. My left knee one week, my right knee the next week,
Mhm.
and it's like because I'm doing stairs almost every day, and I've been doing that since my North American prep. I haven't stopped, so I may take a break and maybe choose the treadmill for a little bit.
Or the bike.
Yes.
Or the
Bike
bike.
helps.
The bike's hard to get
I
your
might.
heart rate up, though. To be honest,
I was
for
just
me,
gonna say that I feel like I need a. This is gonna sound lazy as fuck, but I need a machine to put forth the work for me that I need to
Boom.
do.
oh,
Just
I'm
keep up.
100%
Yeah,
on. I
I know what
totally
you
Yeah,
get
mean.
it, bro. You
yeah,
mean to tell me I have to give the effort for some shit I don't want to
yeah.
Yeah.
do?
Well,
Fuck
yeah, because
that.
one is automatic. It's like one is automatic, one is manual. I don't want to
Yeah,
manually have to keep my heart rate up. You know what I'm saying? You kind of want to just
yeah,
follow the machine. You
yeah,
know,
Yeah. That's like,
that's
yeah,
switched
bro, because
to.
the treadmill keeps going, it don't stop. So it's like, fuck, I guess I'll keep going.
I keep going. But what happens is sometimes it wakes me up when I get on the stairs, the treadmill, and I'm tired. Sometimes it gets me going. Okay, fuck it, let's go. But on the bike, I just stay like tired. You know.
yeah.
I don't know, but some people love the bike. I mean, it's comfortable, obviously, right? But
Yeah.
I don't like the effort, the mental effort of having to be like, oh, let me keep it at 60 fucking cycles a minute or whatever the fuck that shit says. You know what I'm saying? You do cardio off season, Zayd?
Not really, to be honest, because I'm struggling to gain weight, so I want to reserve those calories, you know. But I do start my workout with a light 30-minute walk. Every workout
Yeah.
starts with 30 minutes of walking on the treadmill, 2.5, maybe
Bro, that
2.5
is my cardio
incline.
right now.
That
That is my
yeah, well,
cardio.
that's
That is a
cardio right
thousand
there.
percent fucking cardio. Like, that is
That's what
all.
No,
that's
I
what
feel
I'm
like if
thinking.
you don't put effort in, it doesn't really count as cardio. I count it as a warm up, you know, just to
Mhm.
get the
That's
blood
I like
effort.
flowing.
That's
how
me giving effort.
Zayd, man.
That got
I
to
swear,
count for something.
Zayd is my favorite person. He said my warm up is 30 minutes.
Yeah, not 10
Bro,
minutes.
he like Justin added 5 minutes like 2 weeks ago to my 30. And I was like, fuck, man, was 30 not
It's
enough?
5 minutes.
If you're real about it, dude, you scroll a little bit on Instagram, few songs while you're walking, it's gone.
I'm gonna
It's
be
not
honest,
like
bro.
a
Like
big deal.
my cardio is it's level 10 incline at like 2.2 speed max. And I'm tired, bro. Like, I am fucking like dog days are over. Like, fuck,
Do you
bro.
hold on to the machine?
No, I don't.
That's good.
'Cause
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
do the treadmill, I'm not holding on. If I do the stairs, I'm that guy that holds on. I'm gonna
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. I
I'm
hold on the
hunched over,
stairs.
like just just feeling sorry for myself and shit.
Well, I mean, you're heavy, bro. I mean, you got to put it in perspective. If you're 5'8", almost 280, bro, that it like my equivalent to your 280 would be like 310, 315, and I'm not I'm not about to do level 4 speed on treadmill at 320. So
Yeah.
that's still a really heavy person at your height. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure when I see you in the gym, you're sweating doing cardio. So you definitely burning something.
That's what I'm saying. Fuck, man. Like, it's but like it's funny that Ken brought up his cardios at like 40, 45 minutes. I was talking to Paul about that because I said we were talking about the exact same thing. I was like, I don't know why you keep cardio so high in the off season because it's like your body acclimates to it. So like your ceiling is so much lower when you go into prep to like keep pushing farther, if that makes sense. So like say you go from zero cardio, but you look like that. Now you have all this time duration to play with over time. So say instead of going into prep and ended up doing 2 hours, you could have maybe just done 1 hour because your body had that much more time and stuff to play with by not doing that much in the off season. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
Like I know Honey Rambaugh doesn't let his guys do more than 3 times a week, like 20 minutes max, like because he says it's a tool that you're getting rid of. Everybody has their things, but like to me, that's
it
why.
makes sense. I mean, Joe, I mean, what you're saying, to be honest, it makes perfect sense. I think in a case for me, for example, right, there are two things that we're working on. Is one, for off season, we're keeping me relatively leaner because me and Beatty we have that same thing. You put a little bit of food, no cardio in. I'm 270 in 2 weeks, with shit body composition. So in order to keep me a little bit leaner and to be able to eat, I do need to, because I don't eat a lot, right? So we're also trying to make sure that I'm able to at least eat in a relatively good fashion and
Yeah.
keep my metabolism going and still keep me leaner. This is the leanest I've ever been in the upper 250. I'm 255, 255 right now. And the last time I was
Okay.
255 at this weight, I looked like fucking flubber, So
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely working. It's just like you said, it's probably what you're saying. I perfectly agree with you. I think when that prep time comes, I may have to go down on the food first,
Yeah.
because the cardio, we're not reintroducing any cardio. It's still gonna still be the same thing there. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see
Well,
though. See what
one
happens.
one way to look at it is it's the same difference, just on the opposite end, right? Because
Yeah.
okay, what was the most cardio you did last prep, Joe?
100 minutes.
Well, yeah, but let's say if you were doing 30 minutes 5 days a week off season, you wouldn't have needed to do 100 minutes because you would have been leaner. Instead of 270, you would have been 260. So on the
But how
back,
do you know I would have? How would you know I would have been leaner though?
because you have another 3 days of activity. You know what I'm saying?
But what like Zayd said, for example, that doesn't really make sense. Like I'm still pushing to a new body weight I've never been. So no matter what I did activity wise, I still would have had to eat to get there. That doesn't mean my body composition would be any different.
I don't get okay. So, well, let me explain it from my point of view because I've done both, right? Like me and Ken have done off seasons with no cardio already, right? So yes, we're trying to reach like a new goal, but we're at a point now where we're trying to get close to the goal without losing the competition. So it's visual first. So it's not like I'm gonna get to 310 no matter what. It's like I'm doing 30 minutes of cardio and I'm gonna try to get as close to a new weight as possible without getting fat. So I'm still right now, I'm like 295. I've been 315 before, but the goal is to not be 315 because what happens in prep, I'm going to need 2 hours of cardio. We don't want 2 hours of cardio. So if I stay 295, I might need 1 hour of cardio. You know what I'm saying? So the goal is to do cardio to stay lean so that you don't put on so much body fat that you need to do so much cardio to begin with. So if I didn't
Okay.
do cardio,
Go
that
ahead.
makes sense.
Yes and no, because like for example, like Justin pulled my cardio to keep pushing my food
Mm-hmm.
because the activity, like you, I got to I rebounded right, got to a
Mm-hmm.
certain weight. We pulled back. I dropped all that extra water from some of the stuff I was taking, and then we pushed again. Like no matter what, the cardio, like it's just activity based. So cardio or the plan itself, the meal plan itself doesn't necessarily, or that's what keeps you lean. Unless you put a little bit of size and then pull back a little bit, put a little size, pull back a little bit, you're eventually going to start getting softer no matter what you do, no matter how much activity you do. Like your body can only get so big before you have to pull back and stay tight. Like
you're not getting my point. My point is you're purposely not getting fat. The goal is me and Ken, we don't get fat. So that's our plan. So we're not going to push the calories to a point where we add body fat to begin with. Does that make sense?
But look how that turned out for you by trying to stay leaner. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no.
But I'm just that's what Beatty said before, you know, like he said, fuck this. I tried the stay lean thing. It was kind of a waste of time. Like, okay, just to give you guys an example, no cardio, both fucking times, both off seasons that I've done where I've made crazy, like these big jumps. From the first time I started with Justin, we did prep together, and my prep started at 239 pounds. Going into the off season, after that, I pushed from the stage weight of whatever the fuck I was, like 215, all the way up to 274. And then I got ready for USAs. Pulled all the way back down. And now I'm all the way back up.
You're not getting the point.
But no, you're far surpassing a certain weight that you've been. Like, I'm 30 pounds heavier than my last prep. So no matter what, you're going to get softer. Like, there's nothing you're going to do unless you pull back. It's in that time. Like, activities.
We're talking past each other. You have no trouble getting in shape, Joe. So you can get as fat as you want, and the fat comes off, right?
Yes.
Well, yes.
I'm not like that. My fat. I can't be fat 12 weeks out and then be shredded in 12 weeks. That's not how my body works. So was last year my best look? No, but it was my leanest look because I stay leaner. If that makes sense. So because so I still needed to do 2 hours of cardio. That made me lose my legs and flattened out. If I could put myself in a position where I don't have to do 2 hours of cardio, my legs won't flatten out, and I'm actually going to look bigger and fuller. I've done this in the past, and I looked way better for it. I was just smaller. So you can still gain muscle without hitting a new weight goal if you're at a leaner weight goal. So I'm 295. I've never been this lean 295. So I'm still surpassing my stage weight. What you're saying is you still have to hit a new weight goal. Me and Ken, or at least
that's not what I'm saying at all. I've always believed in you grow into a weight that you've been, and you're still putting on muscle. Like for example, Ken just said he's 250 pounds, the leanest he's ever been at 250 pounds or whatever. He's growing into it. That means he's adding new size and new tissue. That's why his body composition is different. Yes. That doesn't necessarily mean that on his way up, because he's continuing to do cardio, that's why. His body just knows how to get there now. And he came from a show, so he's growing into a weight differently.
Why do you do any cardio then, Joe? Why do you do cardio 3 times a week?
I don't do cardio 3 times a week.
You said that you do cardio as long as possible, and then you take it out at some point.
Because the food gets too high, and my lower back can't take it anymore. So I pull it out.
So we don't want to get to that point. We don't want to get to the point where we can't take it anymore. We don't want to get a lower back pump. That's why Ken said he hasn't got a lower back pump. We don't want to get fat at all because me and Ken, unlike you, we don't lose the fat as fast as you. So it's not just the cardio. It's the cardio, but it's also the meal plan. The objective is to put on as much muscle without putting on fat. I don't really get the disconnect. You're coming from a place where you lose body fat relatively easy. Me and Ken aren't that way. So forget the cardio and food. It's all a tool. Like in prep, you do cardio, whatever the case is. It's diet and cardio. They're both a tool to stay lean enough. So we're going to still hit new weight highs. It just won't necessarily be the same look. It's going to be leaner and tighter every time. But we're also, I know for me, I'm not trying to hit a new weight high. I never want to be 315 again because I don't need to be, you know what I'm saying, unless I'm competing at 280. So basically what you're saying, I get what you're saying. But we keep the cardio in the diet to a point that we can't risk to get fat because what we have to do to get in shape is going to be so extreme that we're going to fuck up our look. right? So
It's like
like
the reverse end too, right? Like if you were, it's a perfect example is a guy like Stu, right? It would make no sense to give Stu cardio in the off season because that means his food would have to be more than he's already eating, right? Compared
exactly.
to a guy like Beatty and myself, who, you know, we get fat a lot easier. It's okay to still give us cardio to keep us relatively leaner, but then you can also push the food up a little bit. So you're gaining a little bit of benefit in, with the metabolism as well. And you're able to get things moving versus if we were someone that was already pushing food hard, you throw in cardio, that means that that person needs to eat a lot more. And then it's not beneficial at that point. So I think different tools being
For different
utilized to
people.
different bodies. Yeah, I think that's what helps.
It just works for different people. Now, if Joe never got shredded before, would it make sense for you to put on that much body? It just wouldn't make sense. Like Compton
Yeah.
would never have me put on as much body fat as you because it doesn't make sense. You come from a place where you lose the body fat. That's why Compton is doing that. So Compton, for me, he's gonna make me keep the cardio in no matter what, and he'll never. He's not interested in making me reach a new weight high. So that's the disconnect. You're like, well, just look how that worked out for you. Well, it worked out for me because I got fourth. I've never gotten fourth before. So just because I
No,
didn't
but
beat you,
I had nothing to do with your body composition. It had to do with look at how much cardio you still had to do, regardless of
I
how
was still
fat you
fat.
got.
You're
I was
good,
still fat for me. That all
you're
season,
gonna do cardio regardless too, though.
No,
Like,
no, you're
yeah,
gonna do cardio regardless. But I'm saying
yeah.
like just because you kept it in doesn't mean you're gonna do any less to get in shape.
Oh
I
no.
did do less. No, I did. But I've done more than 2 hours of cardio in the past, Joe. And also, I was still too fat. Just because I didn't have as much body fat as you doesn't mean I wasn't fat for me. Like you get fat and you just lose the fat. Like I can be leaner than you and be. I still need to be leaner. I feel like I'm too fat right now. It might not appear that way, but to me, this is too fat. I'm sure Nick would agree. I'm too fat as well, right?
You're all fat.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm doing now is what Nick does now. This is not for everybody. This is not for everybody. Some people are fine, getting softer and they'll just lose it. Me personally, I can't risk that because I'm just not going to be in shape, and I'm going to need an outlandish amount of cardio. You know what I'm saying? So I personally believe for my body type, staying even leaner than I was last year and this year is going to benefit me. But that's just me. It doesn't mean you and Paul need to do that. You guys you're going to follow Compton, and Compton is going to. He already taught these things out. He knows.
Yeah.
Compton didn't start you 12 weeks out because he's like, oh yeah, Joe is super lean. No, he's like, well, I know Joe loses the body fat quick, but anybody else, I promise you, Compton is not about to start anybody else 12 weeks out looking like Joe looked. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Especially if
only
you're,
Joe.
yeah. I feel like if you're Joe, you're not in this position too, but someone that's a hard gainer, right? It doesn't make sense to give them this kind of approach. So that's why I was saying, depending on the
Yeah.
body type,
Mhm.
that's where this will come into play. But I think even for yourself, probably later in your career, when you've gone to a point where you've put on all the muscle you need and you don't need to grow any further, I do think that, if with Compton, he would probably put you on something that's kind of a similar plan. So that way, each time you go down during your contest prep, you're actually going to get there a lot easier and maybe even push further in condition.
I
I
agree.
think I think there's just a lot of benefits to doing it. It's just it doesn't apply to every single person, especially early on in their career. But later on, I think it's highly beneficial to most athletes.
Joe also he's only done like 4 shows, so you're only going by based off what you've done. You don't know that staying leaner, you might actually be bigger. You might look better and be bigger. You don't know this because you haven't tried it yet. But if you circle back around after 10 shows, you might have a completely different viewpoint, like Nick does. Nick has done a lot of shows. That's why Nick knows that this is the best way because he's tried doing the bigger and bulkier thing, and he's like, okay.
I think you grow better in a leaner state, and that's just my opinion. But
No, well,
Insulin
science says that too,
sensitivity
though.
too.
Yeah, science
Insulin
says that too.
sensitivity. Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck with science says. That's what I know.
But it doesn't apply to you anyway.
Nick is gonna grow regardless of what the fuck Nick does.
Yeah.
No, but I've done off seasons where you get fat. I've done off seasons where you stay leaner, and I think I've gotten bigger and stronger staying leaner. It may not seem that way because, I'm not 300 pounds or I'm not this big but in terms of my strength and how I look, I'm bigger. I'm just not as heavy. I'm sitting at 280 right now, and I could probably take a diuretic and hop on stage and win. Like, it is what it is.
That's what I said. Remember when I saw it?
Beatty knows.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, to be honest, man, it's a different approach. Now, I'm leaning more to the leaner approach. It's just you don't feel. Maybe when you first do it, you won't feel as confident because you're not fucking blasting huge. But
No,
eventually,
I just do what my coach tells me. So like Justin's the reason I get that big. Like I'm just gonna follow what he tells me to do. So I mean that's what I've always done even before Justin came into the picture. So it's just it's all I've ever done. So
it's working, and I'm sure he's gonna milk it as much as it's working because you're making improvements. So he's not gonna stop until he feels that he needs to stop. Which is going to be soon, eventually, right? Because you're not about to be 320 next offseason,
Oh,
no. But
let's be honest, it doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't.
No. I feel amazing right now.
You're tired. You can't get out of bed. You can't tie your shoes. Sex life is horrible. Like you don't want to do anything. Training at that point sucks too because you move and you get a lower back pump. Like it's like
the back
this
pumps.
Shit.
Yeah, it's the back pumps that just kill you. Like you can't. You literally, especially back movements, like where you have any kind of hip hinge movement, you can't do anything, man. You're just like basically fucked.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's up, Nick? What's new over there? What's new in Jersey over there?
Just cranking away, having fun.
Mm-hmm. You got glasses now? Is this for show or this is?
Yeah, it's a look between Superman and like Wolverine. You know what I mean?
I see the beard coming through finally.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna probably give it a wipe. I'm not feeling it.
Oh, come on, bro! You gotta
can't
off season beard. Oh no, it's not even off season.
I'm 9 weeks out beard.
Prep beard. I thought nigga was gonna wolf it out for a minute. Okay.
I've never had it this long before in my life.
I was just gonna say that's the longest I've ever seen him have it.
Yeah. But I wanted Nick on because you was at the Arnold US, right?
Yeah, I was.
Were you at prejudging or just finals?
I was at finals.
Okay. So being there in person, right? I guess friendships aside and everything like that, did you agree with all the placings 100%?
I did actually. I mean, like I said, I wasn't there for prejudging. I saw all pictures, and I don't really like giving a judgment off pictures. We all know how that goes. Mm-hmm. But even from pictures, it looked like Hadi was the winner to me, just from the pictures. But I was sitting pretty much front row for Saturday, and it just wasn't close, man. It really, in my opinion, it wasn't close. And that's not a knock on Samson. I love Samson. And he looked great. I mean, he did, but there was just a big gap there, man. Like there really was.
So one thing that me and other people talk about sometimes in messages, but not, some people feel like Samson legit has body fat on his body that he needs to get rid of. And some people feel like it's a peaking issue. If you're there in person, does it look like he actually has body fat or just it's a peaking thing?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, I think he's still got a little bit of that stubborn fat on his glutes and just a little bit on maybe his lower back. But I do think majority, you could blame it more on a peaking issue, though.
Okay, yeah, because that's one thing that people. Now, is he compared to everybody besides Hadi? Is he far off in condition from everybody else, or can he stand next to everybody else condition wise?
I thought it was a little off.
Okay.
I mean, you seeing John was peeled, bro. Fucking peeled. Raphael. The thing with Raphael, I said this on a different podcast. His conditioning was great. Do I think it was his best conditioning? No. But do I think it was Raphael's best look to date? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Let me see
Because
if I
he's
can pull
fuller.
Got that shrink wrap.
Yes. I mean, like I said, I've seen him more shredded, but just as an overall look to him, I thought it was his best look to date. Yes.
great look. Great look.
Yeah, he had that. It's everything is just like bursting full, you know, and he's still able to maintain the condition. Like we always say, we joke about it, but that healthy look, right? That Neil Hill healthy look. Like he just looks shrink wrapped. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Compared to like
he does.
before,
He does
would
it.
look. Yeah,
His conditioning was, is almost better than, if not, maybe a little bit better than Samson's at that point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, when you have that amount of like that skin texture and that polish and the perfect tan and everything's popping, you could get away with a tiny bit of, maybe, I don't know, if body fat maybe, because his glutes aren't dialed, but it almost doesn't matter. It doesn't detract you from his poses at all.
No. But Samson's just really big, man. Like,
Yeah.
he's just big.
And also with Rafa, he's not necessarily one of the bigger guys. So him going on the flatter side, I don't think he would look as good as actually looking
No,
this full.
he needed to be full, and they played the cards right for that.
Okay. This was Samson at the US.
He had definitely a hard time controlling his midsection a bit.
I did notice that. I did notice that. Which
I do think that was like a major penalty, because with Hadi, his stomach didn't move at all.
Yeah.
Like he kept it tight to his, like, it was ridiculous. Honestly, like I said, I wasn't there for UK, so I don't like to put a judge on that.
Mhm.
But I think that was his best look I've ever seen.
This is unfortunate, but Samson is obviously a much better bodybuilder now than he was a couple years ago. But I believe his waist used to be a strong point, and now it's almost becoming a weak point. At least next to somebody like Hadi or Derek. I mean,
he's just grown
I
so
don't
much.
disagree.
He's just grown so much.
He got the thing with him, which here's the thing with Samson is, like, I can almost borderline be similar with his situation. Is not that I ever had an exceptional waist like he did, but I think we got big really fast, and it jeopardized a lot of certain things. But I was still in a position, which Samson is in that same exact position, where you can reel it back and get it under control. And I think, if moving forward, I don't know what his game plan is, but moving forward, he's in that spot where, like, he doesn't need to push anymore for a dramatic amount of size. I think now he's in a position where he just needs to improve certain areas, not so much grow everywhere as a whole, and just improve certain areas, keep the waist tight, and that's it. That's all he really needs. It's more refinement at this point for Samson. I think he still needs to build his back a little more, in my opinion, but as an overall, I just think it's more refinement rather than how big can I get.
Yeah. So if Samson, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Beatty. My bad.
No, you go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I know you'll probably cover the UK later, but I know the UK, he came in a lot smaller, and word on the street is that he didn't even his wife didn't even carb him up for the show. He just went in as is.
He probably
Which is-
didn't. He probably.
which is exactly what he
Obviously, we're
needed, you know?
speculating here, but I'm sure he didn't, eat a shit ton of carbs. I'm sure he ate some,
Yeah.
but not a shit ton. They probably used zero insulin whatsoever,
Yeah.
and he looked better. He came
He
back.
looked
Granted, it
so
was only
much
2
better.
weeks, so it's
Yeah.
how much improvements can you dramatically make in 2 weeks, right? But within
Right.
those 2 weeks, the battle was a lot closer. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well,
And I agree. I 100% agree.
why would you need to carb up, right? Because okay, it was 2 weeks ago. Your body is gonna rebound naturally, and he was sick. He said, right? So you're sick, your body rebounds. Who knows? For somebody that size, 5 to 10 pounds is probably a water. For all we know,
It's not
you know?
even like it's not even that, but like he just doesn't go flat.
He
My
doesn't.
man's diet, like my man in the morning was eating 2 whole eggs or some shit. Like
Yeah, he
and
just don't.
every time he'd make a video or he's never flat.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't need to. I don't know if y'all. I've heard Dennis Wolf on a few podcasts say that after he stopped working with Milos, he stopped carbing up for shows. He wouldn't let himself get super flat during the prep, so he would just come straight into the show without. He would actually deplete into the show and go zero carbs for like the last, I don't know, week or a couple of days. And Dennis got Wolf got drier at the end of his career. He wasn't as blasting full, but he won more shows that way. It is
Yeah.
what it is.
I think it
So-
was a very good strategy because
It's funny. It's funny how that works though, right? Like, because I know for my physique, I have to be blasting full, like in order to make a huge impact. To give off that illusion, since my waist is probably a little wider than most, I have to be blasting full. And you noticed that with Hadi too in the UK for prejudging. He was a little flat. You saw it. You noticed it.
Yeah.
And it did take away from his physique a little versus the Arnold Ohio blasting full, and everything popped.
With guys like this, like you see Akeem come in like flat, and he looks better because his waist, bro. Akeem's waist right now is like non-existent. It kind of looks
It's
weird.
crazy. It's crazy.
Akeem, I'm very
It's
happy
crazy.
for Akeem.
Yeah, but that's kind of the Samson thing, right? It's like you're not gonna look flat at all. All that's gonna happen is you're gonna look better because you're gonna look tighter. The waist just fucking disappears,
And listen, Samson already has a beautiful physique. I mean, why people say it wasn't close in the UK, but the reason why people still say it was closer is because 2 judges actually had him in first in
Mhm.
prejudging. Hardy still won prejudging, but he didn't get a perfect score compared to Ohio. So it's like, I mean, the writing is on the wall. If you don't have to come in blasting full for Samson, it's actually a bonus. Your ab control is going to be exceptional, and you can actually pose a lot better. Especially if they're going to be running you through gauntlets of posing. You're not going to tire out. Like when you're just like blasting, you can't move. So yeah, I mean, props to him. I'm happy for him, and I think that because it seems like mentally, with everything that's gone down from Ohio to the UK, he's not in a great place with how people online have been treating him. So it's nice for him to take a break, take a break, disconnect for a little bit, go on
He
vacation,
needs to get
come
off
back.
the phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he needs that.
Yeah,
Needs that.
he's not used to it because
No, you got to remember he's kind of new. Like he really kind of just entered this like really a few years ago. And I'd say within the past year or two, he went from to like, oh shit,
But Nick,
and
let me ask you.
you go from getting all this hype, Samson's Ronnie Coleman, Samson's this, Samson's that, to now, because you are at the top and now you are expected to perform a certain way. The moment you don't, they are going to nitpick every little flaw you have, and that's exactly what they're doing to him now. And I don't want to say he can't handle it, but he's not prepared for it. He's not used to it. He doesn't understand why, but that's just the name of the game. Soon as you reach that top level, you fuck up one time, they're gonna get you for it, and they're gonna get you hard, and that's just the way it works.
That's exactly, Nick. That was exactly the question I was going to ask, because to me, it just looked like, he's just getting the criticism that every top bodybuilder gets usually, where if they do a show and they don't come in the look that the fans and their followers expect, bodybuilding fans, it's like they're like goldfishes, man. They only remember the last 2 minutes. Everything else that Samson has built up to this point, it's like, oh, he can't deliver. So he goes from being this beloved guy to all of a sudden he's the guy that can't fulfill his potential. It's just one show, but that's how bodybuilding fans treat it.
Not necessarily true, because Samson gets the same criticism from every show, come in peeled, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's not that he's not fulfilling it, because he is improving, but when you get the same criticism and you don't deliver on that criticism, what do you expect?
Yeah. From a fan perspective, Nick, what I'm saying is, because even those shows that the judges have always said that, but even the shows that he comes in, he's not fully in condition, the fans, there's still an argument when you look in the comments that, he was good enough and he won. But now it's like, okay, with Hadi versus Samson in Ohio, it was like, there's no question. No one can question that victory. You know what I mean? And the writing is on the wall that this is what he needs to do. Like, a guy like Samson should always beat Hadi if he's in condition, but he didn't, right? So, and that's where a lot of this resentment, I guess, from a lot of his fan base comes from, which is something that he's just not, like you said, he's not prepared to handle because he's just never encountered it before.
Yeah.
No, and I think, look, I've been in his spot. I mean, we all know this. I think the worst thing he could have done was speak on the internet.
I agree with that.
I really do. Like, because, and I say this just out of pure love for him, because I've been in that spot, so I know exactly what he's feeling. But when you go on social media and say, I feel sick, I need to go to the hospital, my body's failing, how the fuck do you expect people to interpret that? But then not only that, you the next day you go, oh, don't believe the hype, I'm doing the show. No, what hype? You said it, bro. Like,
I didn't understand that at all.
That's what I was thinking.
Nobody was believing any hype. Nobody, like, you said it, bro. Like,
yo, we said the same thing in the group.
But here's the thing. I get it. My man was in a very emotional state. Probably he lost a show that I'm sure he probably thought he was going to win. I've been there, know that feeling. And then not only did he lose, but now he's getting hate for it, and he doesn't understand it. And now he's starting to question a lot of shit. So I've been there, and it's okay. We all do it. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. We all hit that point. So I just think right now he needs to not redeem himself. He didn't fuck up, but he needs to just get off social media for a little bit. Take his wife. They don't even go on vacation. Just go live life for a little while. Just do your thing, and it's cool. It's gonna die down. You'll be back. Chill. But I just do think, because, if you are gonna speak on emotional behalf on social media, I do think now, not that he owes anybody anything, but you should probably try and justify it a little bit instead of just leaving it open-ended. Like, just say something like, oh, yeah, I was, a little fucked up in the head, I did that, whatever the case is. But you can't just come on social media and say my body's failing and then say don't believe the hype. I don't know what you people are talking about with no explanation.
when you're at that
spot on,
when you're at that heightened emotional state where he was like teary-eyed, that's the worst time to post anything on social media.
It is.
And
I get it. I've been there. Like, I know exactly what he's feeling, and you just need to learn, which I've learned. I've fucked up. I've done it. Stay off the internet, bro. Just stay off. Period.
Especially for Samson, who's been, his online persona has always been the positive guy, right? The guy that's always positive and happy. So we're all human and we all compete, so we understand where he's been. But a lot of regular people, I was seeing the comments like, "Oh, I don't like Samson now. He's all negative." It's like the guy's a freaking human being, man. Like he's going through it. Like he's literally going. The man literally said online, "Why am I even doing this sport?" Like, bro, he has a McLaren in his garage, and he's like, "Why am I even doing this?"
He said that? I didn't hear that.
He did.
Yeah,
You see
he
that?
did.
he said that. He's like, "My family's being dragged through the mud for what? For this sport?" I'm like, "Bro, you got a McLaren in the garage, bro.
But that's
Chill out."
the emotion. That's the emotion talking.
Yeah. That's fact. One thing, yeah, because okay, so nobody was talking about anything. Nobody was talking about coaching or doing the show, and then he made the video. And then once he used the word failing, it's like, whoa, her body's failing. And then people started talking about it. And then he was like, hey, you don't believe what people are saying. And the truth is like nobody was saying it. Like he was the one who said it. So
You did, bro. Like,
I was
And
kind of strange.
can we talk about too? I feel terrible for Milos because I feel like Milos online too is kind of getting a little bit of the side effect of some of this, right?
Mhm.
When you come out and say my body is failing, and you've been a coach with someone, it's like I feel bad for Milos because first off, it hasn't even been addressed from Samson's side about how the whole coaching thing happened. And it's okay if he doesn't want to address it, but it would be nice to know that if he can at least put out there publicly, I'm not saying, he's probably talked to Milos, but just put it out there publicly. You guys are cool. At the end of the day, Milos got him to third in the world. You know what I mean? Like they did good work together. So for Milos's own professional coaching career, I think it would be good for him to at least just put something out there that, to basically level it out that hey, I was in an emotional state. I probably said some things I shouldn't have said. This is what's happening. And this is what happened going into the UK and leave it at that,
Yeah. It's crazy how people, because like what 2-3 weeks ago, Milos was the best coach, the most popular coach in the
Yeah.
in the league, and now he's like the worst coach, right? Which neither of it is true, right? He's a good coach or a great coach, regardless. It's just that first of all, it sounds like 90% of his clients don't even listen to what the fuck he's saying, don't even follow his plan. So we can't really be, you know what I'm saying? We can't we can't. We can't even blame the man if motherfuckers is off doing their own diet and doing their own protocol. It's like, damn, is he a coach at this point, or is he like a big brother? He just like, hey, what's up, bro? Just helping you around the edges, but he's not really coaching nobody. So we can't put all this blame on Milos. The man he's trying to do his best. Motherfuckers don't even follow his plan. Like what you want him to do? What you want me to do, man? Like, yo, it was like every other day.
Funny, man.
I swear, yo, we talked about it in the group chat. Every other day, somebody like, oh, Holland said was like, oh, I wasn't really following it. Like I did my own thing. Then we saw, I think Shire said something that Regan didn't follow the insulin protocol. It's like, so nobody's really following it. Oh, and then Horse MD, somebody said, well, he peaked himself for that show overseas. It's like, so who is Milos coaching then? Who the fuck is he? Who is his client at this point? Damn, I don't know. I just if he's gonna get blamed, he got to at least be coaching these people, bro. So
Maybe
and
it's
the
too
last,
extreme, bro. They don't want to do it.
yeah, I mean that's probably part of it. That's probably part of it. I'm sure.
Well, we've talked about this before, though, right? On the pod, where it's like most coaches, if you're in the industry, you kind of know what most coaches swear by in terms of their protocols. If you go with Blue, Blue says it himself out there. He's not heavy on the anabolics, but the GH, the other growth factors,
Yeah.
that's the things that he does. Milos, he's unapologetic about his insulin protocols. He basically brought it to the industry. So if you're gonna go with a guy like Milos, I mean, you better fucking like insulin, because
yeah.
that's his thing. So
Yeah.
I just don't understand it.
Well, that's another thing I say. It's like, you everyone blames Milos. Oh, Milos this, man. You know what you're setting yourself up for.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't understand the problem. Like, you know what you're walking into. Like,
you do. Listen, like I would keep it up. I'll be like, Milos, yo, we gonna hit this off season hard, and then like 12 weeks out, I'm about to go with Compton. I'm
You're gonna get
sorry.
me big as fuck, and Compton will get me shredded. We'll leave it at
Simple.
that.
Simple as that. Like you know, I'm not gonna be like on the low. Like, okay, you prepping me, and then let my girlfriend prep me the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna put it all on the table. It's like it is what it is. Yeah, Milos, I respect you all that, but we're not about to do 2,000 grams of carbs and fucking insulin. We're not doing that for the show for the peak week. You know,
I can't even fathom eating 2,000 grams of carbs, man.
Fuck, bro.
I don't know,
Uh,
but I do got a question for Nick, right? So if you run into Samson, let's say at the Olympia, and he's like, "Yo, Nick, what's up, bro? Yo, like put me on. Like how are you getting so hard? How are you getting so peeled, bro? Like put me on game. You gonna give him game? You gonna give him the real game, or you gonna be like, go follow your coach, do what your coach says."
I'm gonna say, don't use insulin.
Yeah, he
when
doesn't need it.
when it's that competitive, yes, like everybody's friends and we help each other, but how far are you willing to help your competition, Nick? You willing to give them that last bit
You
of
know what the God's honest truth? I'd let him know right up because I want to beat Samson at his best. I don't give a fuck.
good shit?
That's
Great
right.
answer. Great answer, Nick.
I don't give a fuck.
Fact. And me personally,
Because
I'm
guess
about to-
what? Just because it worked for me, don't mean it'll work for you.
no, it don't. It don't. Shit, me personally, I'm about to fuck your prep up all the way up. I'm about to tell you all the fucked up shit. Have your ass having potatoes and salt water.
Lays.
You're gonna be having salt water for 2 days out. All right, let's go. But you wasn't at the UK. Okay. What did you think about Akeem in the US? Oh, I guess you didn't go prejudging.
Well, no, but I was there for finals, and Akeem brought it, man. Like I said, I wasn't there for prejudging, but when he came out for finals, I said, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Oh boy."
Did
Yeah,
they
and
have?
what's funny, man, Nick, is I talked to him at Strong and Shapely the week after, and he said they didn't do anything between finals and prejudging. He just fucking
No,
got
you know
hard.
what? That's the funny part because here's the thing, bro. You say that's the funny part, but ideally that's the most ideal situation because
Yeah,
what is there to do? Just
right.
you know what I mean? Like when with me and Matt, whether it was a day show or a 2-day show, Matt's big emphasis for me is go sleep.
Yeah.
Go to sleep. Like I remember when we did the Arnold when I won. After prejudging, we got back. I weighed myself. I ate. He was like, "Go to sleep." Okay. I woke up drier, bro. And we didn't do anything. And then I ate a little meal again, and then we went to finals, and I was harder and fuller. Like,
Why do you
there's
think, why do
not
you
much
think
to
that
do.
happens?
I just think with Samson, or not Samson, with Akeem, he just peaks later.
Boom.
They need to somehow get it for the Friday and improve a little Saturday instead of nailing it on Saturday, you know?
That's
Yo.
what I think too. Because same thing happened in the UK. The exact
It
same
did.
thing happened. In
Yeah,
the UK.
he looked okay Friday, and then Saturday it's like, God damn.
God damn,
I
man,
was-
it's on.
I was watching one of a while back, probably a long time ago. I was watching one of Matt Jansen used to make YouTube videos, and I can't remember which athlete he was talking about. Maybe Sean Cloida, I don't know, but he was like he noticed that they would look better the second day, so he basically moved the entire program, the entire peak week, a day back, and then
He
perfect,
would.
nailed
But
it.
he did.
So in Akeem's case, maybe they should just take the entire protocol and move it one day back. That's just a thought. I'm just putting that out
Well,
there.
it's funny because we did that. So from the Olympia to the Arnold, that's what we did. Because we wanted to specifically be leaner for the Arnold and drier. So what we did, whatever day for the Olympia, when we started, the final peak or whatever, we literally moved it one day ahead. And that was it.
Yeah. Boom, simple. So that might be what they need to do, being that
I just never understood why certain coaches have like this whole, peak week, we're gonna do this and this and this. I'm gonna drop this and I have to for what, bro? Peak week should be the most simplest fucking thing there is. You don't do anything besides manipulate water a little bit if need be, maybe a diuretic if need be. You fuck with sodium. We don't ever fuck with sodium. Either stays where it's at or it goes up. There's no, oh, we're taking it out, add it back in, blah, blah, blah. No, there's too many variables. You keep it, you shouldn't change much. Everything stays the same. And then you got people who are like, oh, 4 days out, we're gonna drink 3 gallons of water. Then 2 days, shut the fuck up, man. Like that shit is dumb. I don't care what anyone says.
Why they sound like that, Nick? Why they?
That's what dummies sound like.
That's what I imagine.
Yeah, sounds accurate. Okay, who was gonna pull it? Okay, so did they have Classic Physique finals on Saturday or Friday?
Nah, Classic went all one day Friday.
Well, I guess you wasn't there, but
I didn't see it, but
yeah,
I think that was Wesley did his thing, man. And that, you know what, I gotta say that's cool for Wesley because someone that's been not at the bottom of the totem pole, but like, he's someone that was like never nailing it, right? And then finally he does, and then he wins, So
yeah,
and it's funny because I do think he has a little bit of a wider waist, wider structure than the ones at the top, but I think he knows how to disguise it well. He knows how to pose, and he came on point, and it showed. And I don't want to speak too much on Ramon's behalf because from what I know and what I heard, he only prepped 6 weeks. So that's generally not a lot of time, but it's going to be interesting, I think, what happens at the Olympia now for sure, because I think Wesley's going to have time to rebound a little properly now, improve on that, and hopefully he can bring a better package,
See, I think they underestimated the lineup. Like, you guys tell me, I don't know what's going on in Ramon's life, but if for any reason, any circumstances, you were only able to prep for 6 weeks for the Arnold, well, I guess Nick, because he had the torn hamstring, that probably was similar, right? Would you still do the show, or would you be like, fuck this, I'm not going to be my best in 6 weeks, so why would I do the show?
Well, okay, but like even with my situation, like I said, I'll be honest, if I didn't tear my calf on the other leg, I would have certainly walked out on that stage. I mean, it is what it is.
Beatty, check this out with Ramon, where it's different is he wasn't even training to begin with.
That's crazy.
6 weeks. He wasn't training, bro. So it's like you're just going cold turkey. I mean, I don't know about cold turkey, but he wasn't in the gym. And you go from that to 6 weeks going to prep for the Arnold. So it's kind of like, bro, like, I don't know. That's a little overconfident,
That's too much. That's like a bad excuse. Like, I don't know. I don't think
I think that's ballsy though. I dig it. I can dig it. I mean, he still took second, bro. I dig it.
Yeah, that's some Kevin Laverde stuff. That's crazy.
Well,
he had to be there for the contract or something.
Do you guys believe that actually happens these days? Like, hey, if you don't do the Arnold, you're gonna get it, bro.
I mean,
think people
ask the people that bailed out last year.
yeah, and Zayd, keep in mind too. I mean, it's invitational, so he probably requested to do the show.
Yeah, you got a request.
Yeah, they didn't just pick him. He requested to do it, so it's like he knew that he had to show up for that show.
Wait, but he won the show last year.
Yeah,
he beat Urs.
Oh, so he was qualified already, but still, yeah, it wasn't just like, hey, you have to do this fucking show, bro. I don't think so, at least, But that being said, like Nick said, right, that is ballsy. I actually still had Ramon winning as I was watching.
I think, listen, I think if Ramon won, I don't think many people would have argued.
Yeah, from the back, from the back more than anything, it was really. Ramon left the door open. His posing, with all due respect, his posing was not that good. He was kind of
wasn't. It wasn't good. I will say though, especially at the UK, Breon, I think is a little freak, man. I really do.
Yeah. We got to bring up Breon. So
Breon from the back, I don't think anybody was more conditioned than he was.
I don't think anybody in the entire classic lineup, including Bumstead, beats Breon in the back double bicep. I'm gonna go that far.
That's a ballsy one.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody in the entire class.
Chris's back is pretty nice.
It is. But Breon, so he came in a little bit fuller. It looks like for this show. This is the UK. Yeah, it's the UK.
This one's the UK. He got second.
I thought he was actually more peeled in the US though, but he lost to Urs, who's a bigger guy than him. So I guess it made sense.
Urs this week.
Yeah, so it made sense. I think Breon is much better now than when he was winning, just because the competition is so much better, you know?
I just think when he was winning, and this is, I obviously don't take this the wrong way, but when he was winning, I don't think the talent was as exceptional as it is now.
No.
Because now you have now, because Classic's more well known now, there's guys coming out of the woodworks now, you know?
I think the way they were still trying to figure out where they wanted to go with this class as well.
I think that, in my opinion, I think they like the more taller guys.
I think
it's a structure.
You know, because I'll use Terrence Ruffin, right? Like Terrence Ruffin, I think, has an amazing physique, bro. I think it's astonishing, but I just think the height kind of ruins it for him now because, you know, when you think of Classic, let's be real, like you think of a tall, aesthetic, you know, a look, you know. Then when you have a shorter guy, it's like, yeah, that's awesome, but you know, how do you go from like, you know, Chris Bumstead to like a shorter guy?
It's a structure contest, man. It really is because, I mean, when Breon was winning, like you said, right? Like you look at him around the Danny Hester one before him. Danny's even shorter than Breon. And you look at the top 8 now. Everyone is freaking tall. Breon himself is an anomaly in that top 8 because he's actually the smallest guy structure-wise compared to the rest of them. So it's like it's a structure contest. That's why even from a bodybuilding standpoint, Wesley is great and I'm happy he won, but like his hamstrings from the back, if it's a bodybuilding show, he may lose those shots from the back and the side poses just because of the hamstrings and glutes. But structure is weighed so heavily in this class that sometimes it negates even just completeness of the physique.
I'd like to see Breon try 212.
So here's my thing with that.
I think he did
that's
before.
a great idea though. Do we think
why not? He's like 44 years old. Who cares?
He's in his mid-40s.
That's the issue because he's older.
Yeah, he's in his mid-40s.
I think that's the perfect time. Like your career is going to come down to an end soon. Who gives a fuck at this point?
So hear me out, Nick. Hear me out. He's in his mid-40s. He's going to have to push up in weight. So he's actually going to have to push his weight up. He's actually small for a 212 guy. So
I know he is, but I also know how bad he has to suffer for this shit.
Yeah, but also his sweeps,
which is more dangerous than trying to make him go up in weight.
His sweeps are down due to age. I don't know if his sweeps are actually going to be able to come back. If we're just being honest, I love Breon. I love his physique.
I just think you're a
phenomenal champion. Because I think like if I'm an previous Olympia champion, I've been top 5 in every single show I've ever done in the classic physique. Do I want to go, take a big risk, go into the 212 where there's a chance I may not make the top 10, and I'm at the tail end of my career? Huh?
212s do it when they go to the Open.
But not at the tail end of their career.
Kamal did it.
So, okay.
Kamal did one show.
Yeah, Kamal did it and almost won.
He did. I can see both sides. Okay, now, if he goes to Open, is he all of a sudden about to blast 2 grams of test and die? No.
Listen, you don't need to. You gotta eat food, motherfucker.
That's it, So I don't think I actually think it's more dangerous that he has to suck down 15 pounds with whatever method he has to do it. I think that's more dangerous.
I know how hard he has to go to make weight. And to me, that extreme is more dangerous than pushing up weight and making weight with no problem.
I would agree with that. But what I do agree with Ken is that the issue is not the health to me. It's that he's 44. He's going to have to add, I don't know, 15, 20 pounds of muscle. He just beat Urs, which statistically would put him at what? Like fourth? What is that?
I'm not saying this year, but let's just say the Olympia doesn't go as planned for him.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows how much longer you got? Why not just have fun for 1 year?
Yeah. Well, okay. If he's gonna do a Sean Clarita and hop in and see where he stands, I'm all for it. But if he has the idea that, okay, well, I'm fourth here, I have to at least match fourth or surpass it, or it's a failure, then I don't think he's gonna beat Calderon and Karev Baggio in them, because the thickness is just too much, and then the leg sweeps is just too much.
It's
So
the same thing. Do you
But
remember
how
when
do we
Steve
know?
Lorius? Do you remember when
Here's the
Steve
thing, here's
Lorius
the
did
thing.
212 for the New York Pro? Do you guys remember that year? And Steve Lorius was one of the bigger classic
well,
physique guys.
you can't compare that, but
No,
he was like 6 foot.
You
I'm
can't
just
compare
saying.
Steve,
I'm just saying though, structure wise, people always think that okay, it's 212. Like I'm just gonna go there. Those guys are big, man. I know they're shorter, but they're still dense.
Yeah.
Like Brian is not. At where he's at.
Not
He
yet.
may have to take a year
But
to actually be
here's
there, and
the
the
thing.
years matter. At that age, the years matter. You don't want to be taking those years. That's a year that he could be making money. He could be solidifying. his
Brianna's
name.
going to make money regardless. But the thing is, we're talking about his legs being down. How do we really know his legs are down when you have to suffer your ass off to make weight? It could be from the dieting, for all we know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good point. Good point.
You don't know until you actually decide to make a move somewhere else.
Yeah.
Again, I will repeat. I know how hard he has to work and suffer to make weight. So you don't really know.
So,
You don't really know until you try something. Is all I'm saying.
That's valid.
It was
No, don't give. Like, I think, okay, tell him his career. Okay, how much years does he have? I don't know, 2, 3, 4, maybe.
I mean, that's all going to be on him. I don't,
That's gonna be on him. You gotta, but he just moved up, so maybe that's gonna make him stay. Now, if you're not moving
that's what
up,
I'm saying. I'm not saying right now, but like, let's just say the Olympia. God forbid, Olympia don't go his way. He drops, right? Well, he gets 5th or 6th or something. Why not? Why not just for the fuck of it, have an off season, put some legs on if you can, which I'm sure I personally think he will, and try 212. Who cares?
You got to try it. You got to at least try it. What I will say is that
I
don't
feel like
think
Brian is that guy in the point of his career where he's got nothing to lose.
Literally, yeah. Where I will agree with Ken is that I don't believe he's going to place higher in 212. That I don't believe. But
I'm not saying he'll place higher, but you never know. He might be a better fit there. His physique, I'm saying, might have a better look, a better pop, because he's able to actually grow into it and peak properly without fucking suffering the whole time.
It worked for George Peterson. It worked really well for him. I thought he looked better at the 212 because he was able to come in with that pop.
I agree.
Pop, so. Let's see, Brian. Let's see what Brian does. He has the genetics. I would assume he has the genetics to do well in either class. Where he wants to go with it, I guess up to him. Right. And in person, his legs look really good in person. Actually, it's really just the sweeps.
Yeah.
And when I see him, he's not suffering down that far. So his legs still are pretty round. Now, let's go Urs. It's weird because Urs is shredded as fuck, but he doesn't have the same separation that Brian has, even though he might have less body fat on him. He just doesn't seem to show the amount of detail that
he came back fuller for the UK.
You think it was a better look?
This is a guy that I would agree with Nick should go to open or 212. Like, he's under muscle on his He's probably should go to open. He can
I'm like, yeah,
he's like 270 in the he's like 270 in the off season, you know?
Yeah, I was like, how the fuck?
Yeah, Erz is
gonna
a
be
guy.
hard.
Yeah, Erz is a guy
I
that
said
I would
this.
definitely
I said
say
this. I forget where I said
definitely
this,
open.
but I think Ramon has the most potential to go into the 212 or the open.
Why I keep saying 212? These motherfuckers is they bigger than that, bro.
Well, I don't know how much Ramon weighs, man. Because you have
Holy
to, if you
shit.
really look at Ramon's got some round muscle bellies, bro.
Yeah, he does. He does.
He got some round muscle bellies, and if my man decide to grow for a year,
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Erz needs to grow for the opposite reason because he doesn't have round muscle bellies. So he needs to get so big that it doesn't matter almost. He would look like a freak. I think they would both look like freaks, bro. They would look insane.
Erz just needs some arms, man.
Yeah. Look at his glutes. Like he's shredded, man. I think he could have been
Well,
darker.
to you, Nick, everybody needs arms.
I think he could have been darker. What do you think? That would have
A little
helped,
bit.
maybe. Yeah.
I do think he looked better in the UK than Ohio, though.
That's hilarious because
I
in
do
the US,
because I think that the fuller look, he looks better to me.
it's
I
funny you
think he
say
looks
that
better here.
because in the US, I was like, "Yo, Breon got Erz." I kept saying it, and then Erz beat him. And then in the UK, I was like, I could see how Erz could win this one, and then he didn't win. So it's like it's kind of funny how that goes. But I mean, it's close. Here's my thing: if somebody is in their all-time best, doesn't mean they're off because off sounds like you missed, right? So Phil Heath's all-time best was 2011. Does that mean every other year Phil won, he was off? No. It just means he wasn't his all-time best. So when you have a man looking like this, I don't think it's fair to say he's off, but he's the most shredded guy in the lineup. But then say, well,
No,
Samson's on.
He was just a little flat.
You know what I'm saying? So how are we gonna say, well, Samson's on? Oh, look at Samson, he's on. He bought it.
That's like y'all saying I was off at the Arnold.
Yeah, exactly. The most shredded guy in the lineup is off. Oh, look at Nick. Oh, look at his sweeps. Oh, he off. Get him out of
He
here.
off.
Like what the fuck? What are we talking about here?
With Hadi, I think because the shows are so close together, they're only like what, a week or two apart. I
2
think
weeks.
that's why people say that. But I agree with you. I don't think you should judge someone and say that, yeah, he's the most shredded guy, but it's just because the shows are so close in nature to each other in terms of time. It's sort of like, yo, he looked like that last week. This week he doesn't look like that. So
People
going on?
gotta also understand he didn't
Yeah.
get there until like Wednesday night, Thursday morning.
That's
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
bro. Bro,
Oh.
anybody else does that, they get a second call out. I promise you.
Well, I thought it was very cool. Hani posted a video on YouTube, like of the whole process of him trying to get this visa for the UK. And they literally got it Wednesday and took the latest flight out Wednesday night. So with them being
Wow.
time ahead, he didn't get there probably, I mean, depending on time, he didn't get there probably till Thursday.
That's crazy to me. Nobody else could pull that off. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, when it, I think it's a little bit rude to say that the guy who's most shredded in the entire lineup is off. I think we should just say, okay, I still think Vancouver was his best condition, even compared to a couple weeks ago. I think that was his best overall look. But you know what I'm saying? So just because he probably will never look like Vancouver again, condition wise. But listen,
when you compare Vancouver to Ohio,
yeah,
if people always post the front shots of Vancouver, but when you turn them around, Vancouver versus Ohio, it's not even close. Like,
you know,
Ohio's his best for sure.
Let's define off. Like in my head, off means you missed. It don't have to be a huge miss, but it means you miss. Hadi don't miss. Hani round
You
by
know who
don't
missed? I'll tell you who missed. 47D.
He missed big time.
That's a miss. You know that's
a miss.
Okay, I don't think anybody.
And that's
in
no
that
disrespect because I like 47D, but like you missed.
Yeah, at the Arnold, Ohio, I don't think anybody missed besides Horse, right? I think everybody was pretty on, right?
Yeah.
The thing with Horse is I think Horse has incredible potential.
Mm-hmm.
But like you gotta do better than that, brother.
Yeah, that was a big miss. Like, I don't understand really what happened, if I'm being honest. I don't know if it had to do with the flight. I don't know, but that was kind of weird. Like, he's never been shredded, but better than that for sure. Mo Shaban, I think, took last, but I thought Mo was on. I just think he was downsized up top. You know,
Yeah.
I thought he should have still beat Horse personally.
I love Mo. Mo's awesome.
Mo's a
Me
great
too.
guy.
I love Mo.
Great
Yeah,
guy.
but what I was saying is, Hadi don't miss, Hani Rambod don't miss, so they not ever gonna be off. Nick don't miss, Matt Jansen don't miss. So that Arnold that was off was probably the most shredded we've seen Nick. So I just
When I
don't
hear
like
people
things
say
that
I was
way.
all for that, I'm like, do you understand bodybuilding?
Yeah, off
Like,
is
do you guys
extreme.
understand what bodybuilding is?
Off is an extreme word. Like, it's a
Yes, it
different
is.
look. Because a different
Boom.
look does not necessarily mean off.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for devil's advocate, just for Hadi in this case, just because of how close the shows were,
Mhm.
and he had a look. Most people looked relatively the same as last week, right? Maybe a little fuller here, a little flatter here, but because it was his all-time best. And that's just how it is in bodybuilding. I mean, Dexter Jackson is a prime example. Dexter Jackson was never off,
No,
but
no.
he would come to a show, and because he doesn't look like 2008, people would
You'll say
say
something.
Dexter is off for Dexter. But
Facts.
it's
That's
like he was
facts.
still the most shredded guy in the show. So
Yeah.
that's the part of bodybuilding that kind of sucks, is that you're always going to be judged against your best.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes like with Rafa, sometimes you actually look better not being your best. Like, because Rafa, that wasn't his best condition in my opinion, but it was a better overall look, right? Same
Yeah.
way that Hadi Arnold Ohio was his best look, but not his best condition because it's so you kind of have to find that balance, you know. You gotta have to find that balance. We're just really hard on the when it comes to the best in the world. We're really hard on them. Like to go back to like Samson with the negativity. When you're getting fifth place in Europe, nobody talks shit because nobody cares about you, you know. But you know, you move up to winning the Arnold, everybody cares about you, and what comes with that is people being, you know, really critical about how you come in. You know, let Derek come in anything like 1% in the wrong direction, and he's gonna hear it because he's Mr. Olympia. So I guess
Yeah.
it's respect, it's love.
Sorry, Zaid, were you going to say something? I don't cut you off.
No, 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 no. I was just
Yeah.
agreeing. Yeah.
I was going to say that's why for me, right? Like, Nick, you're a prime candidate for that because none of us are on that level. It's sort of like, man, like people forget that you guys are fucking human beings, man. It's like
Not Nick, he's a mutant.
it's like everything is scrutinized from the beginning till the end. I always bring up this story because I just like to follow the trend of how things work in bodybuilding. Big Ramy going into his second Olympia title, was it second or third, where he lost. The story prior to that was Big Ramy is sweeping everyone. He
Yeah,
posts
you're right. You're
one
right.
progress photo, literally one progress photo where it looks like there's a dent in his quad and it's downhill. The whole rhetoric around his physique just changed overnight, literally overnight. And it's like, man, like these guys are fucking human beings, man. Like literally every single little thing is criticized. And it's like, till you've actually competed yourself or stepped on stage, you got to realize that, like, man, these are the best of the fucking best, man. It is not easy. It is not easy. But unfortunately, a lot of bodybuilding fans, some of them don't even compete. And those are the people you will see a lot of times that are the first to say something relatively mean about someone's physique on stage. You know, it's always the guys that don't actually compete. Most competitors, if someone's off, they'll probably say, okay, he was off. He could have been dry here, but they're not going to go to that extent.
No.
You know, which
Well,
sucks. It sucks.
2 years ago, Ramy was, you know, undisputed. It was like how can anybody beat this guy? He's fucking 6 foot wide. Look at his quads. He can't be beating. When Nick said he was gonna beat Ramy, it was like, Nick gonna beat Ramy? Get the fuck out of here. Now people are like Ramy needs to retire. Like it's been fucking 2 years. It hasn't. It went from like, oh, Nick can't beat Ramy to not only is Nick beat Ramy, but he's like, Ramy is like, oh, like nobody. When was the last time we've heard anything about Ramy? It's like
crazy.
he doesn't
Do
exist
you guys
anymore.
think he can make it to back in the top 5 again at the O?
5? He would have to beat Andrew and Brandon. I think he could beat Andrew
I
and
think so.
Brandon
I think so.
because they haven't been super shredded. So I think so.
Yeah.
I don't
And he's
know,
had a year.
you know,
He's had a year
It
of rest.
depends. A lot of people that take that time off, you know, they never really come back the same. So
Yeah.
I don't. With all due respect, I don't even know if Andrew and Brandon are going to be in those positions. I think it's going to be a mix up. I think there's a lot of good people. I think from the Carloses to the Rubiels to the Stews. I don't know, but I feel like even Tonio. I feel like there's so many Crizzos.
Antonio won't make it to the Olympia this year.
Rafa.
Yeah, Rafa,
Damn.
Crizzo. If I'm being honest, if granted, Brandon was sick though, so that's different. But if Andrew doesn't bring that condition, I don't think he's going to continue to get top 5 because things are moving, people are coming in, people are peaking. It's so competitive that I don't think they're going to allow that condition to be top 5 at this point. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I think everybody's going to have to step up. Besides, the top 3 are in their own. Not with all due respect. When I say 3, I'm talking about Derek, Hadi, and Nick, just because of the condition with Samson. But you could throw Samson. The top 4, I think, are safe. Not that Samson is close to them, but I think they're still safe from everybody else.
Yeah.
Besides that top 4, I don't. Nobody.
We talked about it in the last pod, right? Where I think we're at a point now, just from the way things look, where if Samson doesn't actually bring that level of condition you're looking for, they may actually start docking him for it.
I think so. The same way.
You're gonna have to eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody's gonna have to bring it just to qualify, bro. For like I know Nick is joking. Well, I don't know if he's joking, but even for Tonio to qualify, he's gonna have to be perfect. There's a lot of dogs out there. He's gonna have to be perfect. There's no easy qualifications. There's no quick, simple qualifications.
Well, I mean, he
don't
might
care.
qualify somewhere else, but not New York.
Speaking of that,
Brazil.
who do you guys got for who do you guys
That's true.
think for Brazil? Because Tonio, Carlos, Vito, and Rafa are all in that show.
I think Rafa's going to do it. I think Rafa's going to win it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't
think
like
Carlos.
to go by,
I think Carlos can go second.
I don't like to judge by ifs because ifs never seem to pan out. Not that it won't, but I think if Carlos nails it, I think Carlos can win the show. It's just that Rafa is already.
Carlos needs it back.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think he's good enough for second, but I don't see him pulling off against Rafa.
That's facts. Yeah,
I'm
Hometown.
skeptical of Vito just because I feel like he looks different from his pictures to actually stage. I don't mean that in any fucking way. But
no fact. Yeah.
That's a key word on this podcast, bro.
Hey, I think that goes for anybody. Like, we got to judge people on stage because the Instagram game, bro, that's just not real life. That's not real life.
But I also just seen Raphael.
Yeah.
And if I had to pick my top 2, based just what I know, I'm gonna go Tonio and Raphael.
Yeah. Oh, you hear Tonio? Yeah. Okay.
Tonio. That's a safe bet. I would do the same. I'm already wishful thinking for Carlos.
Yeah.
Honestly, but if
I think Carlos will nail the conditioning where it needs to be, and I think his back is too behind.
Yeah. Let's say even if he's his best condition ever, still may not be more shredded than Tonio, And then if you factor in the back, then that could be a part, I don't know. I think he's a lot. Well, I don't even think he's a lot bigger than Tonio, a lot more muscular.
He is.
But shit, he's more muscular than Rafa. I think overall, just shorter, so it probably won't translate.
You know,
You'd
but
have- you'd have to-
if Good Vito, you know, actually looks the way he looks like in that one picture he just posted, that's pretty dangerous, if you want my honest opinion. You know, so he could actually win the show. So,
If he looks
Yeah, I
like
said
that, he'd
the same
compare
shit.
very well to Carlos.
but
Motherfucker-
I've
Just like the
seen
picture. Yeah.
Rafael in person. I know what Tonio is probably going to look like. So I have them as a 1 and 2 safe bet right now.
Yeah.
Bro, if Good Vito looks like he looks in the pictures, that motherfucker compares well to Derek. I just don't think I just don't
Come
think
on
he
now.
I just don't think he looks like that in person. I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna believe that's how he looks in person. But that could just be me not knowing what the fuck I'm talking about. You know, who the fuck am I, right? But that's a hell of a in those photos. I bet you that beach shit by the water. That shit, I was like, damn. I was like, damn. Okay. I'm like, okay. you got me on that one. Shit. Okay. But it got to translate. You know, who else is there? But third kind of no. Third would be Carlos. I
don't know
think
who's in it, but like I said, I have either Ralph Antonio for 1 and 2, and Good Vito and Carlos for 3 or 4.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
Carlos
I think
this
that-
time around is leaner. We've seen him. See how
Yeah.
his face looks already in better condition than last time. And I think because he's so criticized for that after his last showing, he's going to pay attention to that. So I'm expecting his best condition this time
Me
around.
too. I
Yeah.
mean, he's literally living in Brazil right now. So I literally think that he's gonna be a lot more conditioned this time. I think we're gonna see his best showing, honestly.
Yeah.
I hope so.
You know, when you're especially like here, like when we prep, we're kind of prepping ourselves and doing what we need to do, which is the normal way to do it. But in a lot of these countries, man, like you know, Brazil, like Oxygen over there in Dubai, there's a fucking team of guys around you all the time, like making sure
That
you're
don't
on
mean
point.
shit, because when they come to the US, none of them fucking nail it, bro. What do you mean? The dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Yo, I gotta be
You
honest.
got a big point.
Those trainers kind of annoy me sometimes. There was that one trainer, he kept making faces and touching. I'm like, stop touching me. Like, stop touching me, bro. Let me do my set, bro. I don't know. That's something I noticed. I don't like that, but I mean, yeah, I'm sure that he's pushing a lot harder there. I don't know. It
Let's be
depends on the
honest.
situation.
Rami won the Olympia not in Kuwait.
Yeah.
He was coached by
that's
Chad.
true.
Yeah.
But
Depends.
DJ was keeping
Dennis,
an eye on him
DJ
24/7.
DJ was keeping him, you know. DJ was keeping him on point.
The only one that did was Brandon.
Yeah, because he had the family. I
And
guess
I
it
feel
depends
like
which.
that benefited Brandon a lot, but 9 times out of 10, they don't do that.
I think
well.
Nathan Diasha, when he was coming up, it benefited him. Not now, but when he was first coming up and he debuted in New York, I think it helped him a lot, you know, in his
Think
early
so?
years. Yeah.
Think so?
Nathan with Oxygen, yeah. I think earlier when he first started,
Mhm.
I think it really helped him going over
Okay.
to Oxygen.
Put the size on him.
It got him big, yeah. It got him big, but like not peaked perfectly, but big for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it depends how much distractions you have. I just don't think Carlos. I don't think Carlos' lack of being shredded is due to distractions. I think
No.
he has colitis, and he probably just had a really hard body to get lean and peak. So if they push him too hard, sometimes that doesn't help. I've been there, and you don't necessarily look better. You know, it's a weird balance. It's like it has to be perfect. You have to bust your ass and suffer, but there comes a line where more suffering doesn't make you look any better. That's when you kind of have to use your you kind of have to use your brains.
It backfires.
Yeah. I feel like Nick at some point you had a hard time getting super shredded, right? And then doing more help you, or you had to do less sometimes.
Bro, I it's funny because for the Olympia prep and even now, I do stairs on a level 2 for 25 minutes.
That's intense.
Two is wild.
You
What
hold
people
on.
don't understand is,
Might as well
and
stand there.
this is not to take away from anybody, but I train, I don't want to say I train harder than everyone, but I train a very certain distinctive way that if I was to do cardio that same way, it would probably just backfire on me.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
We actually
and
talked
I
about that before. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that, baby.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
You talking about because like the stairmaster, bro, that shit bangs up my legs so bad and my knees. I'm like, yo,
But
at this
because
point,
it depends how you do it. Like
Mhm.
everyone's like, oh, stairs this. Stairs. I did stairs the entire prep last year and not a single fucking problem. And I did level 2 and I squeezed my ass every step, nice and slow, and I was fucking drenched in sweat. And then you got some Joe Schmo looking asshole next to me doing a level 6, 7, riding this motherfucker, holding on to dear life, looking like a jackass. And no, you get no results. That's why, like I tell people, stairs I think is the most beneficial cardio to me, hands down. But you have to know how to do it right. You understand what I'm saying? If you're holding on for dear fucking life and you got a level, like what do you really think that's gonna do for you? Like people are like, oh, level 2, oh, we're so slow. Maybe it is, but when you look at it in a very distinctive way, as if you're training and you contract everything on every step,
Mhm.
you're probably going to sweat a little more than what you probably would do and get more out of it than if you try to fucking grind the gears and go to level 8 or 9. And then your legs will get more detailed, more attention, and it's less taxing on the body that way. People don't understand this shit. It's not rocket science, man.
If you had to do like an hour and a half of cardio, would you do it all on the stairmaster, or would you mix it up?
I'd probably mix it up at that point.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I would
It's
probably
like,
do stairs in the morning for like 45 minutes.
mhm.
And then I would probably do the treadmill or something after training for however time's left.
Yeah,
45
I like
minutes.
I like about 30 minutes of stairmaster at one time. Any more than that, like my legs, like my quads get a crazy pump, and then my knees over time. It won't be overnight, but as I'm getting leaner, I'll start getting my legs start having a harder time recover. But
I don't have problem.
uh
I don't have problems in prep with stairs. I'm having it right now. My
oh, because
fucking
you're
knees.
heavy. Okay,
Because
you're
I'm
heavy.
heavier. In prep, it's like it's great, but now I'm heavier. Now my knees are starting to fucking hurt. But
All right. If I'm off
do it
season,
anyway.
I'll be honest, I like elliptical.
Mm, that's too much. That's too much mental work for me.
It
Having to
is, but
keep
don't
going.
underestimate it. Well, that's why I had this talk. When I'm in prep, I like stairs, or the treadmill, because it's just you set it at what it is and you go. There's no thinking to it. Off season, I don't mind doing the bike, pedaling out some shit, because it is what it is. But in prep, I don't want to think. I just want to go.
That's facts. All right. Let's get into questions so we don't stay on forever.
Yeah.
But before we get into questions, I'm gonna share a never before seen pic of Nick real quick. Nah. All right. They're already scared. I don't want to scare nobody anymore. Let's see what we got.
It's game over, bro.
The worst and best clients you work with. Do you guys all coach people?
Yeah.
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 No, this is gonna take too long. Never mind. What are some new mistakes? Do you see any benefit? Okay. Do you see any benefit of 20 plus reps versus 5 to 15 reps? Yeah. Do you see any benefits in doing higher reps versus, I guess, not low rep, versus like moderate reps?
I like doing higher reps on like leg extension and leg press if I'm gonna do high reps.
How high do you
But
go, Joe?
no. The highest, 25 typically. I've gone to 30, but that's
Like,
like, for
is that like
example,
your top set, like you're grinding gears, or is that like a little
so
pump
like
set?
for example, my right knee was bothering me. So
Yeah.
instead of going super low, I kept it kind of like, I guess you could say like the depth wasn't as deep. So I try to really keep it on a certain like part of my leg,
Right.
and I just repped it out until I couldn't anymore, and it got to 30. So,
Joe,
but
Joe
I
is
don't do that often. I'll usually stay within 15 to 20 on the leg press, but it's rare if I go higher.
Joe is really strong. I haven't trained with a lot of people who are stronger than me, especially with like he's strong on every angle as well, right? So if Joe was gonna do 10 sets of 10 or 15 reps on leg press, he couldn't fit enough weight on the machine. So he doesn't.
So
I don't think he
it
has a
depends
choice.
on the depth. It depends on the depth. Like I did a YouTube video where
Mhm.
I did like 10 plates on that leg press at
Mhm.
Fit Nation, but I was
Mhm.
like fucking balls deep, and that shit was pretty heavy.
Okay. Yeah.
So it just depends on how deep I'm going. But I've loaded that thing up like where it was like stupid amount of weight, but the depth was like doop doop,
Mhm.
you know.
The only way I feel leg press is going like super low. Like I gotta go like as low as my body can possibly go. If I don't do it, I just don't feel it. I gotta be honest with you. You know?
Leg press is probably my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's my favorite too. I always try to do it before a squat.
I do
Yeah.
It
too.
really opens me up.
I
Yeah,
usually
me too.
start with a leg extension and then I go to a leg press.
Same.
Yeah, and I finish with squat.
But
It
to
makes
go
us-
back to the question,
Mhm.
sorry,
Oh
baby.
yeah.
To go back to the question, I don't think it's beneficial as a regular workout every single, week, hitting 20 plus reps. Once in a while, you want to do widowmakers, leg press, or your boys want to, rep to failure or some shit. Like, yeah. But if you're talking about training, like day to day, what you do every single day, I don't know anyone that's doing 20 plus reps on something, versus just a moderate rep scheme.
I usually say 12 to 15.
Yeah.
I do 10 to 15 most of the time.
I do 10 to
Yeah.
12 usually.
Yeah. You can also slow it down. Like if I'm doing a leg press, I don't wanna put 20 plates on there. I just don't want to.
I go slow as shit.
Exactly. I get, if I'm feeling really lazy, I might do one leg at a time. If I go to a gym that don't have a lot of 45 plates, I might just go one leg at a time just so I don't need that much plates. But even then, I'm gonna slow it down and pause at the bottom just so I don't want to use 20 plates, man. Fuck that.
The only thing I can't go slow on is like a Smith squat. Like when the bar
Can
sits
or
on my
can't?
back too long, I can't. Like when I go
Yeah,
slow,
I
my
feel
lower
like
back
trying to go
starts to get
slow and
fucking.
squatting is some risky business.
It's dangerous.
Like
It's
you want
usually
to
like
keep
a
it
Smith.
controlled, but like to try and really go slow, it's like, that's one of those exercises you don't do that.
Yeah, no, like I fucking can't breathe, and then my lower back gets pumped as shit. No matter, I could be lean, doesn't matter. If the bar sits on the back too long.
Well, it's like trying to do a 3 second negative on a barbell roll. It's like,
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. Yeah.
How do you train Travis? What intensity you prefer during prep? Huh. What intensity do you prefer on your cardio? I'm gonna try to move a little faster with this, because I actually want to answer a few questions. What intensity do you prefer on your cardio during prep? Average
level
heart
2.
rate. do,
What
do
do you
you
say? I
guys?
missed it. What do you say?
You said level 2.
Level two, Nick.
Oh.
That's his new nickname.
Level 2.
Do you guys track your heart rate for cardio?
No.
No.
Listen, people, I might get shit for this, but I understand the benefit of it, and I think it's a great tool to utilize. But if I'm sweating and I feel like my heart rate's high, I'm fine. I'm good.
You know when
Yeah.
when your heart rates. You know
You,
when your
you,
heart
you
rates.
should know. Like you should know.
Yeah.
Like every
Yeah.
prep's different for me.
Listen. I think it's cool to track it, see where you're at. I get it. But again, that's just another fucking thing for me to look at. You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna do cardio and sweat. Like I'm good.
I'm with you on that.
I've always approached it like, okay, whatever I do at the beginning at my heaviest, whatever I can like see myself doing for no matter how much time you give me to do at the same pace the whole way through from start to finish on prep, that's what I do. So I'll find that sweet spot and just carry out the whole prep. So like the treadmill thing I was telling you guys, I'll do that the whole way through.
Wait, but if it feels easy, would you go up? Like if you're like, this is too easy now, are you gonna go up?
It doesn't get easier.
For me, I do, because I know that I know the
too.
cardiovascular, like I do adapt. Like as you do more cardio during prep, things you get a little bit lighter. Your cardio gets a lot better. I know, like last prep, I started on the Stairmaster with like a level 5, and by the time we were done with prep, I was doing 7.
Ooh, you
Very
moving, baby.
comfortably.
God, woo.
Yeah, very comfortably.
You moving and grooving.
Well,
That's that skinny people stuff, man. Lord.
Well, that Nick, I was telling him that like 2.2 speed on a 10 incline is
Yeah,
like
man.
that gets me going. Like fuck.
Ken's
Well,
the track star here and shit.
yeah, he not he playing
Fuck.
Nigerian. The
Fuck you,
Nigerians is different.
Call me a
No.
track star.
Nick. So Nick said he doesn't track heart rate. I don't think he would be able to track it properly, anyways. Because one thing I noticed when Nick stays very lean and does cardio year round. Last year when I did a prep and then I had 9 weeks to another show, I stayed leaner obviously because I'm in prep still doing cardio, and my heart rate it didn't budge. After a while, I couldn't get it over 120 just because you're in such good shape because you're lean and you've been doing cardio. So I think if Nick tried to track his heart rate, it wouldn't work. He would be like, bro, I can't get my shit over 130 or 140 because he's already in shape. He started prep in shape. If you start really heavy, I think there could be some benefits maybe because you're like, okay, I don't want to go over 160 for whatever reason because if you're fat, you're like, I don't want to go over 160. So but if you're already lean, fuck that. I don't think it don't really matter. It's not gonna budge much.
But to answer the question, because we never answer these questions. So the guy who asked this question,
what is the question? I don't even know.
Moderate. I think moderate to low. You don't want to go balls to the wall if you're in prep.
Yeah.
So like a moderate to low pace.
Yeah, but that's also cliche, right? Because what my moderate to low is not your moderate to low. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Exactly.
No,
That's
my
why
moderate
I
low
put
is
it that
level 2.
way.
Your moderate to low when you're probably 3 weeks out is a level 10, you skinny bastard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good point. It's
He's
like
on level 10. This is moderate.
Jordan.
Dancing on that shit.
I know Jordan Hutchinson was doing like at one point doing like 15 minutes of cardio, 2 sessions at like the peak of prep. I'm like, what's the point of that?
Oh.
I didn't realize how hard he was doing his cardio. So I'm like, oh well.
That's the thing. People don't understand. Cardio can be to a degree detrimental to the prep.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're, like I said, if you're training as hard as you actually think you are, sometimes cardio can be a backfire. You understand what I'm saying? Especially when you're like already in a certain body fat percentage. Like honestly, I could probably not do it every day, 4 to 5 days a week, and I'd probably look better. But
Yeah.
I just like to do it because it's my morning routine. Like it starts my day.
Yeah, it gets you focused and going and shit. But
Yeah.
average heart rate, yeah, I think most of us would say medium
110.
intensity. Huh?
You should be able to have a
110. What the
conversation.
fuck? 110 is
You should be
my
able to-
resting heart rate is 110.
You should be able to have a regular conversation, with the person next to you, and you should be sweating. That's what I'll put for visual cues. It shouldn't be easy where you can just, go off into la la land, but you should be able to talk to the person next to you and not feel like you're completely out of breath.
Wait,
That's
you should be able to talk?
Yeah, you should be able to at least talk to the person right next to you. You shouldn't be completely out of breath where you're like, you can't even speak.
I'm not talking to anyone.
I'm
talking about a gauge. I'm talking about for the person asking this question to actually gauge in terms of intensity.
Yeah,
that's where you should be. If you're at the point where you can't even speak, you're doing too much.
If I'm 4 weeks out, I'm not talking to nobody.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm not talking to nobody. Yeah, I'm not talking to nobody.
Don't even look at me, bro. Like,
once you're in shape, like you're not talking to anybody. Yeah. Once you start getting close, you're like, fuck that. I'm not talking.
I told you guys that story that last time with the Stairmaster, right? The lady that came up to me, that came on my Stairmaster next to me back then. Yeah, you're crazy when you're in prep,
It gets rough. All right. Well, what intensity you find refeeds needed during prep? Thoughts on refeeds? Thoughts on hard to. These are pretty technical questions. I want some bullshit questions, but let's see. I'm gonna do maybe one bullshit question. Who on the podcast would you guys consider the nicest, the rudest, the best looking, and the ugliest?
Whoa.
Nicest
I like to
is
think I'm best
easily-
looking, that's for sure.
Nicest is easily Zayd. No
Oh,
question.
thanks, dude.
Zayd's the
Yeah,
nicest.
I mean,
guy.
that's where my line
don't
went.
don't fuck with Zay though. He's nice, but he not a pushover. He'll
Unless you're
fuck
getting
you up.
beat up in front of his store, he's not going to help you.
Oh my god, that's exactly what I
Fucking
was
that is
thinking.
nice.
I was like, whoa.
Nice.
Yeah. But nicest, I would have to go Zay. Rudest, I want to say Nick, but it comes from. I know it comes from a good place.
Comes from the heart. Comes from the heart.
You
Realist.
call me skinny, goddammit.
Rudest. I mean,
Me
Stu.
too.
65
Damn.
skinny.
No, I would take Stu over me, to be honest.
Stu. Okay, but I think if Stu doesn't, Nick can come off rude when he actually likes you. So he's coming from a good
That's
place.
true too. That's true
Yeah.
too.
Stu is rude when he doesn't like you. Stu is rude as fuck.
That's
you think
true.
about it. He just likes us. That's the difference. If he didn't like us, he would be rude as shit. You know what I'm saying? So we got to go to Stu because it's not coming from a good place. Nick's rudeness comes. Yeah, no, I'm serious. Because Nick's technically, that's not rude. That's being blunt. Because he's telling people he loves, like, hey, listen, you're bullshitting. That's love. So that's not really being rude. That's being blunt. Rude is when you're like, fuck that guy. I'm gonna say his fucking name. Fuck that bitch. That's what Stu. That's what Stu would
That's
say.
Stu.
So yeah, I would say I got to go to Stu. You know, now he's not a rude person in general. He has manners, right? It's not like he doesn't have manners. But if he don't like you, then it's over. Best looking and ugliest. I want to say Stu for ugliest.
Come on, man.
Stu won 2 categories.
I don't think none of us are ugly. I still stand by this is the most handsome podcast. So I don't think any of us are ugly personally, but we gotta let
You
somebody
picked
else.
Stu, bro.
I'm just being
You saw
rude.
Beatty's cop out. He's like, all right, I gotta choose someone that's not on here so they don't get all.
Yeah. Exactly where I was going. Best looking. Let me see a side profile, Zayd. Zayd and Nick. Let's see a side from Zayd and Nick. I think they're in contention. They're in the battle. Zayd looks ambiguous a little bit.
I don't know what that fucking
Glasses,
word
bro.
means,
Way
bro.
cuter.
You don't want to
These
hear
glasses make me look way cuter.
Come on, bro.
Well, Nick with the beard. I think Nick got some extra points with the beard. I think he got some extra points. Let's see the haircut.
Beard, Nick.
Let's see the cut. Let's see the side of the haircut. So I can make my.
It's growing back now. My hair fresh, bro.
Well,
Good.
on this podcast today, Nick looks the best kept out of all of us. I think.
Y'all look rugged as fuck.
I just woke up and shit because I did.
It's
life,
Sunday.
man. The stress of life, bro.
I feel that.
I'm getting a bald spot because of stress. Can y'all see this bald spot? I'm getting a bald spot right here.
Thought it was a high fade.
You going for the high fade now?
High fade.
The
The highest
All right.
fade you can think of.
All right, so yeah, nicest Zayd, rudest Stu, best looking today. I'm gonna have to go with Nick today. Carlos is on. I mean, but Carlos, he got some points. He might have some points over Nick. It might be like a split decision with him and Nick. I don't know.
Fuck out of here.
Diversity.
Yeah, we don't got no ugly people. We don't invite ugly people on this podcast. All right, let's do a couple more. All right, how do you guys decide what color pants and trunks you wear for the show? I never thought about that.
I never thought about it.
I honestly
I just
think
picked the
about
color and I liked it. So
what would look good on my white ass cheeks, to be honest.
Red's the signature, you know.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't like black because I feel like you don't stand out, you don't pop. I feel like you want a color that's noticeable, that makes them look at you, you know.
Yeah.
I thought
I always
about
do black.
green, but
Yeah, I always do
Ooh.
black prejudging, but I've considered green, but I just wear like the most neutral shit, man. Like I wear like this color, like a navy blue,
Mhm.
usually, and then black for prejudging. That's it.
I think I'm
nah,
gonna do
man,
purple.
you gotta
this
stand
year.
out.
Yeah,
I think I want to do
you gotta get
purple.
that pop.
I thought about
got-
yellow.
I actually have a yellow one.
No.
I never wore it before though. I never wore it before.
You should have. That's you'll stand out.
Yeah,
I
I
think
wore
so.
pink.
Yeah,
I
I
wore
thought
pink.
so.
Pink at USA's to stand up.
Ain't
That
no
was
wrong
nice.
with
Yeah,
pink.
that was a nice touch, Joe. That was a good one. I got every color, man. I got sparkly ones. I got all type of shit. The wetsuit ones. I got it all over here. If you ever want to borrow some
Wow.
colors, let me know, Joe.
I only have like 3 posing trunks. That's crazy.
I have
damn.
so many, it's ridiculous.
hmm I got a good connect from Zaid. It's really affordable as well, you know. So, but we're not gonna say the name unless they want to pay us.
Yeah, for
No,
real.
it's our secret.
It's our
I
secret.
went on USA's once with a zebra one, striped black and
Oh.
white. Yeah, it was
Oh, that's
cool.
sick. That's sick
That's
as
wild.
fuck.
All
Yeah.
right. Favorite, I guess top 3 favorite music artists.
Like
Music don't hit
rappers?
us. Just in general, I guess. It depends what you listen to.
I love Lil Wayne. I'll put him up there.
I thought Joe
Avenged
listened to like
Sevenfold.
I thought Joe listened to like country music. You don't listen to country music?
I like Tennessee whiskey.
I'll be listening to like podcasts and shit. I don't whatever they're on at the gym these days.
I have
but-
like a wide range of music, man.
Same.
I was listening to remember before. Oh, you weren't there. Like I did this crazy shoulder press. You know the fucking Smith machine moved when I was doing a 4-plate shoulder press.
yeah,
I was
the
fucking
whole shit
pissed,
moves.
bro. It shifted. I was
That's
like, what
dangerous.
the fuck?
Dangerous.
But I was listening to that song "Careless Whisper." You heard that?
Great
Yeah,
song.
Yeah, great song.
Fucking
great
love that
song.
song. I PR'd to that bitch. I was like, fuck yeah.
That shit gets me in my feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talked about that, right, Nick? You said like you listen to
Yeah.
certain things. I'm the same way. I don't listen to like hardcore shit to do something crazy.
That happens at a certain age. I swear, in like
Mhm.
your early 20s, you want to hear some fucked up shit, some loud shit, some gangster shit. Oh, I'm getting hyped. But we don't, that's not how our brain don't work like that no more. Like, I don't got to get angry. I just got to.
I thrive off emotion now.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm still
But
that way with music though during training.
You got to get
I
hyped.
like loud screaming metal music. Yeah.
What?
I don't like that no
Yeah.
more. I'm not into it.
Me neither.
It's like Nick said, it's a different emotion. I can't pinpoint what the emotion is called. It's not anger. It's just emotion.
It brings a level of focus. It's weird. Like you just really get in tune with what the hell you're about to do compared to just like, oh, I'm gonna fucking throw this shit around. Kind of thing.
When I feel my strongest, when I feel emotional. I don't know what the emotions are, but if I
Yeah,
feel
I
like I
do
want to,
too.
like literally, if I feel like I have tears in my eyes, that's when I go
Me
to
too.
the hardest.
Mhm.
Bro, it's weird.
I
It's
could
weird.
I could deliver 1,000 pounds like that.
Yeah,
Dude, for
yeah.
real.
Yeah.
For real. Paul trips out. I'm like, hey Paul, what do you think I'm listening to right now? He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird. It could be fucking R&B. I don't know. It could be anything, bro. I just
That's
I
why I
don't-
like
I-
Evanescence, man.
Evanescence. What's that?
You never heard of Evanescence?
For real?
Come on, bro.
Oh
No.
shit.
They're the best, dude.
That's the
Amy
artist.
Lee is the
surprising
hottest
me.
chick.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Oh, I gotta find this. What is it called?
I literally
Oh,
talk about it all the
This
time.
is like
You must
back
not
in,
really
like,
follow me,
Linkin
Beatty.
Park.
You're
Linkin
not my
Park.
real friend.
I'm your friend in real life, you know.
Now you speak my language.
I honestly thought Beatty was kidding just to fuck with
No.
Nick. That's crazy.
Send me the name. Maybe I'm just not. I don't know how it's pronounced.
You don't know that song,
Definitely
Bring
heard-
Me
you've
to
definitely-
Life?
You've definitely
Yeah.
heard it before.
Sing it for me.
He's got to know that one, bro. At least
Sing it. Somebody sing it for me. But I want to know how it sounds.
I'm not singing.
I'm not saying shit.
See
Nobody
how
ever sing
everyone
it for
went
me?
quiet when you asked that question. See how everyone went quiet?
You ever saw the original Daredevil movie?
It's like me saying, rap me a
Oh,
song.
the old one.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I haven't. I did see the original Daredevil, but bro, I was like in middle school. Like I can't remember that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that was
song's
really old,
like
man.
iconic in there. But that song like iconic in that little.
Well, yeah, it's
movie.
very. It's like what 2002,
2000. Yeah, 2000. Yeah.
Early
like-
2000s.
I went
Did
to
you
watch
see
it in
that?
third grade.
No, yeah. Somebody text me that, please, because now I feel like I'm not in the loop or something. I feel left
You
out.
know about Linkin Park though, right? They're out.
Linkin
Yeah.
Park, yeah.
Yeah. It's the same era of music.
Oh, I'm not. I mean, bro, I was in the Bronx. Like, I'm not gonna know who they are if I'm going up in the Bronx. I know fucking reggaeton artists and shit in the Bronx. You know, I know Daddy Yankee and fucking G.
Oh, we all know Daddy Yankee.
That's what I know in the Bronx, bro. All right. Did we actually answer the question? What's the question here? I forgot. Oh, favorite music artist?
Or top
Bro, we
artist.
don't answer these questions, bro.
We don't answer anything. Okay, just one.
We
just,
turned into our own conversation. What we want to talk about.
just one artist, because we're not gonna do three. We're gonna be here all day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Evanescence.
Evanescence. Okay. Who you got, Joe?
Fuck, come back to me. Like if I have to choose one, come back to me.
I was gonna say I've never
Eminem.
heard
No,
of
I'm gonna say Eminem. I always go back to Eminem. Like Rabbit Run. Like I love that song.
That's a great
Oh,
fucking
dude.
song.
That's
I
incredible.
play,
song.
when I'm deep in prep, I'll play that
Mm.
bitch whenever I'm feeling like I'm dragging ass.
See,
Aw.
I like Stan. Stan gets me emotional. It gets me kind of like in that dark vibe, gloomy. You know, I want that
Yeah,
gloomy.
between that one and 8 Mile, the song 8 Mile, because the words I
that's a good
really
one.
like what he's talking about. So
The lyrics, yeah. All right, Zalo.
I'm going with Avenged Sevenfold. It's my favorite metal band. It's from like 10, 15 years ago. It's very popular right
They're
now.
good, man.
Very good, yeah.
I
Listen to the shirt.
I had got into metal for like a couple months. I was in prep and I was just in a dark place. Now I just wanted to hear some fucked up shit. So
What'd
I
you
started
listen
listening to
to?
metal. I actually texted my boy for a playlist. He makes music, so I'm not familiar with the artist. He sent me
I
like
like
a playlist.
if I like one hardcore brand, it's probably like Slipknot.
that's
know
a good
Slipknot.
one.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
dope.
I know Slipknot. I might listen to metal today.
They go hard.
They go hard. Okay. I like Creed too, but it's random. I just gotta just
It's
randomly
different.
want to hear it.
Creed's way different. Yeah.
It's like a
Creed's
chill
good.
vibe though.
Yeah.
It's more chill.
Different.
Yeah. How about Ken? What do you listen to, Ken?
50.
Or 50. Oh yeah.
Hell
like-
yeah, man.
Hey, you know that song,
I like 50. I like 50.
Patiently Waiting by 50?
Oh yeah,
that's a
that
good
go hard.
one.
Yeah. That go
I would
hard.
play that shit on the way, the drive to the gym, like blast
Oh,
that
yeah.
bitch with my little pre-workout. Like that was
Yeah.
Like,
Many men
Yeah.
always gets me hype.
that one too. That was the second one.
Ooh, I
Piggy
like
bank.
that, man.
I've done many PRs in my life over Piggy bank.
Piggy Bank's a
Uh-huh.
solid one.
Yeah.
Yeah. 50 Cent is a good one. I don't want to pick the same one. I guess G Unit, but G Unit was basically just 50 Cent and Friends. Damn.
And
I'm drawing a
friends.
blank. Let's go back to Joe. Let me think now. Oh, you said it already.
I said I said
Fuck.
Eminem.
I guess if I at one point it was like a good year or 2 years. I like that Pop Smoke. That shit get me.
Pop Smoke goes hard.
That's pretty
I didn't like him at
simple.
first. When he first came out, and I would hear him like at the clubs, I was like, because it sounds weird. We never heard some shit like that.
Dude.
The beat was all like scratched up and playing
Manny,
backwards.
I listened to
You know
that
what's
one
funny?
guy you were talking about on one of the podcasts. What was his name? Yeet.
Oh yeah, did you listen to
It
it?
came on in my
Yeet.
car. I wanted to listen to it because you said it was horrible. That was the worst thing I've ever fucking heard in my life.
Bro? But the kids love it, bro. They like. I'm like, yo.
That's
So
cool.
can you recite me one single lyric? Because I didn't
No.
hear one lyric.
I even had a blasting, I had a crank, and I was trying to get into it, and I'm like, nope.
I don't know what the fuck is going on, bro. It sounded like the producer was on fucking meth, and he was
It
just in there
sounds-
just smacking the fucking keyboard,
It sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
bro.
Yeah.
So
You know what's funny with Pop Smoke? The first time I heard him, I was in London at the time. I was visiting my cousin.
fancy. Look at Ken.
Yeah,
He's in
for
London.
real.
Okay,
Not
okay,
like-
Ken.
I'm about to
London,
put my
dog.
pinky up. Oh, shit.
Yeah, no. I mean,
What?
hold on.
Pop Smoke.
Hold on.
Pop Smoke in Paris.
Drinking tea and
Okay.
eating
I
crumpets
guess
and
somewhere. I guess
shit.
somewhere with this. I guess somewhere with this. And the song came on in my cousin's car, and I actually thought it was a British rapper because he
Yeah,
sounds
I could see
just British, like British rappers. And I asked him, he's like,
could see
"Nah,
that.
this is Pop Smoke. He's in New York." I'm like, "Fuck no! What do you mean he's from New York?" And then that's how I actually got into it. But if you hear like Pop Smoke's music, it's literally the beats, the rhythm, everything is kind of
Yeah, he's
lifted
right.
off British music, British rap.
Hey, those British rappers go hard, bro.
Yeah.
They be going hard. I don't know that. I know Dave. I think David is one of them. What's
Yeah,
that? What's the
Gigs.
guy that? What's the one that had that
Gigs.
song with Drake? He's
Uh,
not Skepta. Oh, but Skepta is one.
Skepta's one, Kano, Gigs.
What's the
Those
one?
are the only
It's
ones.
remember when Drake was like combination that song. what was that one
You did
called?
that really well, baby.
I thought the same thing. I was like, yeah, motherfucker looks like T-Pain. He's talented.
But that song, it was like damn, what is it called? It's called the on the radar. That guy. He's nice, bro. They play him as Zeus sometimes. I'm like, yo, he's harder than all these like American rappers, bro. Because they don't have bars the way they, like a lot of Americans don't really have bars. These motherfuckers got bars, bro. They got bars. So it's almost like 90s rap, but like a different beat,
Yeah.
almost,
It's very 90s. Yeah, hip hop in UK is very 90s style, which is cool.
Hey, the 90s they're always better. They're more shredded.
Right.
They make better music. All right.
British
one
people
more.
in general, they're fucking hardcore, man. In general,
I like
very
like it, I like
hardcore people. Yeah.
what you was doing in Paris, Ken.
I wasn't in Paris, bro. How did we go from
He was
London
going
to-
gorillas.
My fault, not Paris, London. what you was doing in London?
Nah, my cousin lives there, so I was just visiting,
Look at Joe. Joe's cracking up. Yeah.
Just eating
Okay.
stills and shit.
Ken having a great time over here. London, damn. I ain't never been to London.
I mean, London's great, but like America's still the best place in the world, man. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
It's the best country in the world.
Especially the Bronx.
Yeah, right.
All right. What you thought? What color? Think if I bring it back from the last pod, what bodybuilder has the best feet? What type of shit is that, bro?
That's certainly me, bro. That's not even up for debate.
What kind of question is that, bro?
You know
Like,
what?
that's
One
great.
time I did when I was at my heaviest. There's some dude asked me on a Q&A, "Can I see your feet?" I was like, "Motherfucker, I can't even see my feet."
Good one. Yeah, my feet are fit. I think I might have the worst feet, other than Kai Green and Good Vito.
Yeah, I was just gonna
got the
say,
worst feet.
Kai.
Okay, green, bro.
Shit is crazy.
Something else.
Man got six. He got 6 toes. Crazy shit. All right. All right. Do you know Arnold UK prize money was for open? Anybody know what the 130?
I think it was 150.
150? 130
No, it is
or 150?
130.
I think
I'm sure.
was it 130? I thought it was 150.
I saw 130 for the first place.
Oh, all right.
I gotta text Hadi and ask him what he got.
Racking it up.
Create the
Racking
perfect
it
play. Whitefish. Who's better, Phil Heath or Randy Coleman? I don't want to answer this.
Go.
Oh shit!
I went fucking silent.
It's gonna they're gonna have a fucking fist fight in the comment section.
And you gotta
By the way-
end on a different note.
By the
Yeah,
way,
As an overall
Speak-
package,
speaking
yeah,
of-
like, yeah.
don't even say it.
No. It's not related to that. Did you guys think it was so funny during the Arnold UK stream when Phil came to present for the physique? If you notice Arnold, he didn't give a fuck about the physique guys. He was like shaking their hands, and he's like, "Thank you, Phil." Phil wasn't even competing. Phil wasn't. He was just there every time. He kept referencing Phil. It's like, bro, you're congratulating the physique Arnold champion. Like, Phil is just here to present the prize, bro. Like,
Arnold,
Yeah.
is
Arnold's
a
OG,
different
man.
breed.
He's an OG.
Okay.
Mm.
A fish at the. Do you know? Do you find refeeds are needed? You wanna do a X's and O's or lifestyle? What y'all want to do? There's a lot of X's and O's here.
Lifestyle.
Let's do lifestyle. Okay. Okay. What's your favorite restaurant?
Come on, man. I answered this too many
Nick,
times.
Nick
I
is
ain't doing
literally
this
asking.
bullshit.
Well-
I knew he was gonna say something.
Listen, I got this question in some form like at least 10 times in the last week, so I'm gonna answer it on the podcast.
Cheesecake
What-
Factory.
What's your favorite movie?
Oh,
I've been
movie?
I've been getting. I don't know if it's the same person. I've been getting this all week for some reason.
I don't have a favorite, man. I like too many.
I was thinking
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, because
Pick
a
a
couple
genre.
Mine's. I have a favorite. Interstellar is my
You
favorite.
got to give me a genre.
Up
You know,
there.
like I can't just say, oh, this
yeah.
one.
I think you got to have a genre or a time period because I had a favorite. I like Terminator 2 when I was like, I don't know, when I was 10 years old. You know,
But one movie-
give a
one
genre.
movie?
Give a genre.
yeah. Let's go. We'll go action. Go action.
Okay, I'll go action.
We go action. Yeah. What's your favorite action movie? Let's start. Zalo. Yeah, I gotta take a shit, so we're gonna have this for the last question.
Crank.
Crank.
Yeah.
That's a
Jason
good one.
Statham, the one he was like with his battery in his chest and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And that's a fucking crazy movie, dude. It's awesome.
Was it good? Was it actually good?
I mean,
It
it's
is good.
entertaining. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's awesome. Yeah. He does a good job. Yeah. And it's funny because one of those scenes, he had to fuck a chick before his heart stopped. So he had to
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
a chick in the middle of the football field, literally in front of everyone.
Oh.
So he doesn't die because he had to keep his heart going. You know,
Holy
So
shit.
I found that hilarious.
That sounds like a high movie. Is it a high movie?
It can be high.
a little bit.
It can be, right? Okay.
It has a lot of blood though, so I don't know how you
Versatile.
feel about that.
It's versatile. You can watch it sober or high. Let's go, Joe.
Does Rocky 4 count as an action movie?
I put that in the
Oh.
sports category.
Sports.
Sports.
That's like a sports drama. That's like a drama sport.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time, Rocky 4.
Rocky IV. Pick
Come
a
back to
different
me. I need to think.
All right, let's go, Kentino.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like action movies, like for like they don't stick out as a best movie because the storylines are always simple. But it's like I would say maybe John Wick. I think John Wick 3.
Oh,
So I was gonna go for that one, asshole.
Oh, you know what?
Action.
I
That's
really
a really
like,
good one.
Yeah.
this
Action.
one's kind of like a sleeper, I think. But I really liked Equalizer.
Ooh,
Great movie. Great
I can
movie.
see
Equalizer is like it's badass. I love
One?
how that shit's-
First one.
Well, I like. But if I were to pick one, or the first one,
Me
but I
too.
like all three. But the first one's the shit.
Which John Wick can?
3.
Which one was 3? Oh, that was the one where when they were trying to kill him.
Yeah, the
I mean,
one where
they tried to kill him in the
became
second one
excommunicated.
too.
He was excommunicado in 3, and then the guy who owns the hotel shot him off the roof. You remember? And then 4 is the last one that just came out. The one before 4. That was my favorite one.
Well, you picked 3, so I picked John Wick 1.
One
That's a
was
good
pretty
movie,
too.
though.
One was pretty
That's
good.
close. That's close, Nick. That's mad close. You don't got nothing else for us?
Okay. Then I'll go with Bad Boys.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's cool.
shit. See? When you put me on the
That-
spot, I've had a hard time thinking. But when he said John Wick, I'm like, oh, shit. That made me think.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Same.
Bad Boys is like a action. No, it's action. It's for sure action. I was gonna say action comedy, but it's not really a comedy. I guess only Martin is funny. I guess right. He's the
It's
only
not
funny person.
supposed to be a com. It just has humor in it.
Yeah.
Facts. Let's go, Joe.
I did the Equalizer, the first one.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay. Damn, I'm on the spot now. Action.
He was stalling for
Hey,
time.
wait, what? You know what's a really good one? If it's, I guess this is kind of like part of the hero genre, but I guess it can be considered action. I really liked the Dark Knight with
Ooh.
the
That's
Joker.
good.
It's good.
So-
Those are nice.
That's like in my fucking top.
The Dark
That's
Knight
horrible.
was great.
I watched that bitch like 30 times. Like it's good.
I guess when we say action, I'm almost thinking more about like the cheesy, not cheesy in a bad way, but like the generic action movies, right? Like the Rocks and Jason Statham's, those, because like Hunger Games is kind of action, but that's more of like a thriller drama.
I still want to see the
action.
new one.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
The newer one? No.
That was good. It was like they went back in time though. It's a prequel.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. It was good. It was for sure
I want
good.
to see that one.
But I don't want to call that action. That's like a more
It's like adventure, fantasy.
I mean, you could kind of
Yeah.
put that in the sports category, man.
because the Hunger Games. It's kind of,
Yeah,
a
they
sport.
Technically.
They were killing for sport.
Okay. I guess nobody said Rush Hour. Rush Hour is action comedy. Right? Does that count?
Yeah.
Rush Hour is good. I mean, I
Yeah,
like
that
Rush
counts.
Hour.
That counts.
I could do.
For
Yeah,
Stucker.
I could do a Rush Hour. I'm not really into The Rock movies anymore, bro. That was like back like 10 years
Hey,
ago.
did you ever see the movie with The Rock? I really liked his movies earlier on, like the Walking Tall one.
Yeah, that was
Did you
good.
watch
Ooh.
Walking Tall?
Welcome to
That was a
good.
great movie.
I
I-
like the rundown.
Oh yeah, The Rundown. I
Oh.
forgot about that.
Mm.
Well,
Walking
that's pretty
Tall.
good, bro.
I don't like.
Walking
I-
Tall
I-
was dope.
Welcome to was good.
I ain't like his hairline back then. That shit was it was crazy.
It was dope how I beat the fuck out of that guy with that fucking club.
My favorite.
He's had some solid movies though. Like Gridiron Gang was really good.
That was a
No
great
Pain,
movie.
No Gain with you
Mark.
guys watched that one? Yeah, with Mark.
Ew.
That
Pain and
was
Gain?
pretty good.
Pain and Gain?
Pain and Gain. Pain and Gain was
Bro,
pretty good.
yo, these movies sound horrible to me. I watched all of them
No,
because
Gridiron Gang was good.
no, that
Pain and Gain
was
was good,
that was good.
Well,
But Pain
Exhibit was in it.
and, Pain and Gain and Walking Tall.
I
That's a
think
little-
another good movie he was in. And it was like it was low. No, I don't think it was in theaters. It was called Snitch. It was really good.
Oh, I forgot
It
about
wasn't
that.
in theaters. Damn.
But if
Oh,
dude,
No,
we're
I
gonna
don't.
talk
I mean,
about
I
it.
never really heard of it until I watched it on TV. It was actually really, really good.
Straight to DVD. One of those.
Maybe.
That's crazy.
You guys
But
ever see
honestly,
the
I
The
think
movie?
Rock
one of
has
my
had some
favorite
shit
Rock
movies,
to be
though.
honest.
Like, dude, honestly, Black Adam was terrible, bro.
I
I mean,
don't-
like,
I
I never
don't-
watched it. I never
bro,
I
watched
like
it.
the first five minutes of the movie, bro, he killed like 30 people. In like the body count was like
That sounds like a good movie to me.
the body
I
count
thought
was
the
like in the
movie was
three digits
awesome.
by
I
the end
actually
of the
just
movie,
watched
bro.
it the other night.
Really?
Oh, it was terrible. That movie was fucking terrible, bro. Like, it was bad. It was
I
bad.
think the Rock movies are kind of cheesy, man. I think it's kind of
Yeah.
cheesy. I don't know.
That's the style,
Don't talk
bro.
shit on
Red
the Tooth
Notice
Fairy,
was
bro.
good.
Oh, I like that
Fairy.
one too. I like that one.
Tooth Fairy was solid, bro. The game plan, solid flick.
I don't-
He's not wrong.
I don't got that kind of attention span for those kind of movies. I get bored, man. I get bored.
I live for that shit.
Oh
Have
yeah.
you guys watched Interstellar though? That's my favorite movie of all time.
That's
good.
like my second favorite movie of all
yeah,
time. The
that
first
movie's
one
fucking
being
solid, bro.
Rocky 4.
I love
Interstellar.
Inception.
Inception.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Ooh,
I like
I
Inception.
watched it like 5 times.
Have you guys ever
Yeah,
seen
you have
that
to.
movie? I think it's called Shutter Island with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Ooh,
Yes.
I like that one. I like
Yes,
that one.
that's
That's
a
I
a
good
like
one.
that.
that's a
That's a
great
good one.
fucking movie. I was like,
I didn't
oh
like that
shit,
one. I'll be honest.
You didn't like it?
Yeah, I
really?
like Shutter Island.
Did
I
you
like that one.
did you get did you get the plot twist though? Did you got the
Yeah, I got the fucking plot twist.
Yeah.
Did you understand what was going on?
did you get
Oh, because you
what
mean
he
like
was
I'm stupid or some shit. The fuck?
trying-
Oh, you
No,
didn't
'cause
like it? But did you get it though? Or
hey, I got to double check. I mean, it kind of had its slow parts for sure, but like I felt like it was a mind fuck. I was like, yeah, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah,
no,
It
it
kind of
wasn't
drew me
mine.
in.
Bro.
Yeah, it was
I
a
like
mind
movies
fuck.
that have those twists at the end. Those
Yeah,
I like
they,
those.
yeah,
Really
they make
good.
you think. They make you think. Like I like movies like that.
There's a bunch of movies like that. You guys all got Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send y'all like a list. These movies, man. I'm a fucking snob. I'm like a really hard movie critic. So if I tell you it's good, you're gonna be like, "Oh shit!" You're gonna text me like, "Yo, bro, this is crazy, bro. What the fuck is this?" It's I got me a little list.
You guys ever watch the movie? It's like fucking old. Signs, the alien
Yeah.
about the
With
aliens.
Dennis
Yeah,
Quaid?
yeah, with the crowd circles and shit.
Bro, I
Yeah, I remember
fucking
that
love
movie.
that movie.
That's a
Yeah,
good one.
Signs.
That's old
I
as
made
shit.
my girl watch it.
Damn.
That's
recently.
old.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's Joe. That's old. Yeah, that's a good
I
one.
gotta write that down. Signs.
Yeah.
Hold up. Movies.
Another movie I
That's like
like.
2002 right there.
yeah. Go way
Yeah.
back
Signs.
with
That's it.
Daredevil and shit.
Yeah. Joe got good memory.
Joe has a lot of movies from that time. I like a lot of time movies, man, like time related movies. Like have you guys watched this movie, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button?
I never saw it.
Yeah.
That
When
movie
the
was I
little
like
kid
that
has
movie
a
a lot.
disease. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he had a disease. He was born old and then he died as a baby. So every year he was getting younger. And it's like, dude, it's like a mind fuck. It's like a really good movie, man. I really like that.
How does that even work? You born
Who's
an
in
old
that?
man?
Yeah, he was born old, and by the time he died, he became an infant. So imagine in his life, the people that he met, it got to a point where they were around the same age, and then things started to go, so it's almost like I don't want to say it's a love story, but essentially the woman he met, right? They got to a point in time in their lives where they were around similar ages, and by the time he was dying, she was old and he was young. He was like a kid. So he
That was
barely
rape.
remembered. No, I'm not. It wasn't like sexual, man. It's not like a sexual
okay.
movie, bro. Like, so,
Okay.
it's just, it was just an interesting, like,
Baby's
like
all
an
around
Brad
interesting-
Pitt.
it's
Right?
an interesting spin. Yeah. It's kind of like an interesting spin on the different phases of people's lives. You know what I mean? And like how you interact with people at different phases of your life. But it's a really cool movie, man.
Another dope
Yes.
ass action movie's Gladiator. Forgot about Gladiator.
Great. They're making another
and
one.
Troy.
Really?
Gladiator and Troy. There's
Yeah.
two.
Denzel Washington's in it.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
what?
Gladiator.
Oh wow.
A Black Troy?
How did that?
Oh, not,
I was gonna say, how does that
Gladiator.
work? How does that work? Hey, Gladiator?
Like what character? What character is Denzel playing here? What are we talking about? Troy was the one. Troy was the one with Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah.
That's a dope
That
movie.
was dope. That was dope.
That's a good
too.
movie. Yeah.
I
Who
like
was that?
Black Diamond. Do you guys seen that movie? Blood
I
Diamond.
haven't seen it. Oh,
Blood
Blood
I thought you
Diamond.
said black.
Yeah, I have.
I
I
thought you
have,
said
yeah.
black diamond. I'm like, I didn't see that one.
That's what I thought he said. I was like, I don't know what's
Blood
Blood
Diamond.
Black Diamond, bro.
Yeah, look that up again.
Black. Yeah. Let me Google search that. Black
That sounds
Diamond.
like a fucking porn search.
It does. Yeah. Low key does. Yeah, does. But action movies are. I gotta be honest. I don't like the kind of like the corny. I kind of find like some of the action movies corny, like a lot of the Rock movies, even some of the like Jason Statham movies. It gets redundant to me. What's that guy with the deep voice? The old white guy. He's Irish. He got that deep voice. I will find you and I will
Not
kill
saying
you.
Chuck-
Oh,
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson. Like his movies, he has about 30 movies, and they're literally all the same movie.
Taken was
yeah.
good though. Taken was good.
I think,
though.
yeah,
It was good.
But if we're talking
Very first one.
old school action, bro, dude, Jackie Chan is the man. The Medallion,
I like Jackie Chan.
or Rumble in the Bronx. Those are some good ass shit.
Bronx.
That was some good
If
ass
you're in the
shit.
Bronx, you got to rumble in the Bronx. There's no way around it.
That was some good stuff, man. Back in the
Shit.
day.
Even I would go as far as I used to watch fucking I watched Drunken Master, but back when Jackie didn't even know English, he was in that bitch fucking bop bop bop.
Yeah.
He was going off.
You know, I have some crazy movies. Ip Man.
Yeah.
Oh, those are
Jet
crazy.
Li.
Yeah,
Those
look
fight
at
scenes
That was a good
those
one.
fight scenes are fucking dope.
Yeah.
Jet Li was
dope,
quick
too.
though. Like Jackie, he made it more human. Like he's doing all his stunts. He don't got no rope fucking pulling him up in the air doing all that shit. Yeah, because Jet Li, the one thing I like when Jet Li get to doing this shit and he's flying. I'm like, motherfucker, did you just fly? How are you flying right now, bro?
Yeah, he did.
Like this motherfucker will fly and kick somebody off a building. I'm like, whoa.
Joe,
What happened there?
Was it an Ip Man? Which one was it where he got to like a US Army base and he like faced the like commander at the end?
That's too much.
It was so I was like, this is like Street Fighter, like Guile versus
too
like
much.
Ryu or some shit, you know? Like, it was crazy.
I low key like Kill Bill. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Kill Bill.
I like it too. I think we all related to Jackie Chan the same reason we related to Bruce Lee. Even though Bruce Lee would fuck everybody up, he would get cut a little bit, and he was all actually fighting. Whether I think Jet Li was fun, but like fantasy. You know what I'm saying? It was like a fantasy fun. Once a motherfucker go like this and don't even touch a motherfucker, and the motherfucker flying back, I'm like, nah, you wildin'. You got to at least touch the motherfucker.
Touch him.
At least touch him. Motherfucker didn't even. He stopped right here. Motherfucker said, "Ah."
I don't know, bro.
Like-
honestly, like I've watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z, and the motherfucker will teleport, and the guy will just be obliterated. And I'm okay with that.
Bro, Jet Li used to wild out. He would be on a motorcycle and he would do a front flip and then toss the board. I'm like, yo, this is Batman? What are we doing here? You know, I like the old school like Bruce Lee, and he was just like he would be flexing, just hit a motherfucker. You know, it felt real.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do like a cartwheel just to kick somebody. Like nobody's doing a cartwheel to kick somebody. You know, he would just hit the motherfucker. Like, yo, I see him put a nigga in a choke. Oh, excuse my language. I'm getting way too comfortable. I'm getting way too comfortable on the podcast.
I've never heard Brady say that. Actually,
I knew you had it in you. You know how that's in me. When I'm getting
oh my!
when I'm getting way too comfortable, it starts to fly. Yo, Bronx, but I'm still from the Bronx now. But I've seen Bruce Lee put a gentleman in a headlock.
That man said a gentleman.
Oh my god.
Podcast over, bro.
Oh,
Podcast over after that
I'm
one.
sorry. What was that? What did he put? Who did he put in a chokehold?
In a headlock.
Podcast over, bro. We getting too comfortable here. But no, I see him put like a young man in a chokehold, and I fucking forgot the story now. I forgot the story.
That was too good, man. That was too good.
He
Ken,
was
you
actually
have those in there too.
Kendall got those.
Ken's more reserved.
Oh man. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay.
Oh fuck.
All right, but anyway, I was saying Bruce Lee. It was so real that it came across better. He was actually fighting, and from what I heard, he actually knew how to fight in real life, right? So he don't need the whole, you know. I don't like this shit right here. All of this shit. I'm kind of. Oh, Ken sweating. I thought Ken stopped
I
sweating.
saw that. That was a good one. You don't need cardio.
Maybe
Ken,
laugh
just laugh
too
it
much,
off,
bro.
bro.
You made me laugh too much. Maybe laugh too much.
That was so much. All right, gentlemen. Let's. I think that's a wrap. But stay on though. I'm gonna hit pause. Stay on. We've been on like 2 hours and a half. All right, people. Bye, people.
Later.
Peace.